Welcome to the Health Over Everything podcast, the number one podcast in health and fitness. I am Stephen Z.
And I am SoCal Gula, and today we have a special guest, Dom Breaker, aka Muscleville Inc. How you doing today?
I'm good. Good morning. How are you guys?
Great.
Good,
Glad to
good.
have you here.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for coming on.
So,
Yeah.
I see you in the gym all the time, right? On your social media, on Instagram
Yeah.
and TikTok, Muscleville Inc.
Yes, sir.
And is that your favorite place to hang out, huh?
Apparently so. It's a new thing for me in the last few years. So yeah, it has a lot of magic for me right now.
So where did you when did you start? Like just a few years ago? How did you start?
Yeah, good question. So it's kind of a loaded question. I became consistent as of like 2020. So we're just timestamp 2023 now. So in 2020, when I started explaining this, everyone thinks it's like I'm a pandemic guy. We're like, oh, you started doing it because of the pandemic. Well, not necessarily. So I started the journey once back in I want to say over a decade ago. I joined a gym. So I never counted it as anything, in particular. I was like, oh, I'm going to get serious about my health. And I'm going to go into the gym. I want to get muscles and this and that, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then I would just have a membership like everybody else does. And then I would just ignore it and not go. So I'd drive right past it and be like, bye. There goes. Oh, maybe I'll go later. And I'd maybe do like 2 days a week. And then I would be like, feel great about it. And then I'd eat something sloppy and treat myself. And then the next week I would do the same thing. And then I just wouldn't go. And so I was wasting money. So
yeah.
And then just throughout time, I ended up buying a house near a gym and I was like, I have no excuse. And then I made up excuses and I didn't go still. And it wasn't until 2020 when I turned a certain age that I was like, this is it. 2020 is my year. I think 2020 was like a landmark for a lot of people to do XYZ in their life. And that was for me, was to basically get jacked. And it's a lot harder than it is to just say it. You guys probably have already discovered that, I'm sure.
Yeah, Stephen was
not as easy.
Yeah. Stephen, weren't you saying something like you gain like how many pounds per muscle per year?
I think they say it's good if you could gain around like 10, 15. That's like good if you could gain that in a year. But that,
That's
obviously that takes being consistent. You can't work out for 3 months and then stop for 3 and then, hop back on and expect to keep all those gains that you got. So
I thought it was like 5
be
or 6.
consistent with it.
Yeah, it's not easy. Too many breaks in between will completely ruin your whole. So going the break that you would be taking in between, or I guess the longest break that you should be taking if you're going to take a break and expect to keep what you have, a week, maybe. A week. I know guys that take a whole month off because it's Christmas or something like that. And then they'll go back and they'll be like, I feel great. And it's like, well, you're not lifting as heavy as you wanted to. And that's not like the pinnacle of, health either, lifting heavy. But it is for men, it's a good, gauge for like strength, obviously, and ego and machismo and all those things. So I definitely do both. So live for strength and live for the actual workout. So
I know they actually recommend having a deload week after you've been lifting for a certain amount of time. Like if you're not going up in weight, you're kind of stagnant. They're like, just have like a deload week where you're still lifting, but it's just light, super light. And then usually after that week, you're able to kind of bust through those little spots you were stuck at.
Yeah. I would agree. Deload is I run with a lot of these guys right here at this local gym, and a lot of them are doing competitions, powerlifting competitions.
Oh, no.
So they're going really, really hard. They're eating big. They're lifting heavy, really big, right? So they'll do it for a month or 2 months, right? And for some of these guys, this is new as well. It's like their first competition and they're foreign to it. And so they kind of have to base it on other people's knowledge as well. And that deload is like super important because you don't want to be going in to your actual first meet completely sore, wrecked. But at the same time, you want to be able to get that same amount of weight you did the week prior. You know what I'm saying? So they'll do like a deload week where it's more just to keep everything fresh, blood flow, keep those. And because, when you're tearing muscle fibers, like you don't want to work out with like torn, muscle fibers that are trying to repair themselves. That's that soreness that you get after a really good workout. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you have to recover. So that's their whole week is like a recovery week. So
I never thought about that. Especially if you're competing with other people and you want to be able to perform, your best. Never thought about that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was doing some pull-ups and it's like when I went in there fresh, I could do 5, but after a workout, then I'm like, I'm only doing like 3. I don't do that many pull-ups yet. Still trying to get them up.
I've been watching you, dude. Like you're getting pretty saucy, man. Like you did a before and after picture I saw on your online thing, and you're going from the belly that you literally put. I'm gonna put you out there.
Handle it
on your own podcast.
Yeah,
you put this image up, and it was a side profile image, and your belly was distended, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And then you put the other one up, and I was like, "Fucking hey, look at this guy!" I was like, "Bloody fucking hell, this man is getting it." And you had like it went from a full, I want to say like, here's my hand motion, right? It went from a full like pregnant belly to like regular normal man's belly, where I was like, okay, this guy's working, dude. And so you've seen my posts, and if you're not motivated by any of my posts, then I don't know what to do, man. I don't know if I should be throwing money at girls' butts or something on my Instagram or something. Motivate you, go. This is what you get if you work out. But when you look in the mirror and you see the progress, then that should motivate you enough. So not other people's progress as well. But if you see other people doing it, because sometimes I see other people like that I know and they're jamming out, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to the gym too. I gotta go. And then and it's just, I spend 2 hours in the gym. Like, why the hell am I here so long? Because eventually it's like economics, it's like too much work will actually or too much workers will stunt the actual progress of the business, right? So same thing, sitting there for 2 hours, eventually I'm going to hit a plateau where like, okay, there's no more I can do here, So,
do you ever like spend so much time in the gym and you're like, oh man, I'm supposed to be doing some other stuff. I'm supposed to do something at the house, clean the pool or whatever.
Yeah, I got some pretty crazy stories about that too. I'm sure you've seen those memes where it says like, go to the gym and like completely disregard all your responsibilities. I've been in that range. I've been in that position. It's kind of how it is. And you have to have people around you that respect it to some degree, or respect you. And it's also kind of like a thing where it becomes earned, because at first people don't take you seriously, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to the gym." Like, because they don't think the gym is serious. It's like a place where you're running around on a treadmill. Like, look at what you have in their background right now. You have treadmills. And that's what people think the gym is, just treadmills, right? And every gym will line those up, right?
Yeah, they're definitely filled.
And so, so if you take yourself, seriously, and you are trying to respect yourself by, cleaning yourself up and, taking care of yourself, after a while, people start to take notice and they're like, okay, he's serious, like, okay, it's a real thing for this guy, rather than just poking fun. Like, I've actually taken some people off of my Instagram because of that, because all they did was just trash talk. You're not doing it right. Like, excuse me? Like, bro, you don't even show. Like, like, who are you? Who are you? Are you the judge? You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know I had, IBFF judges, or what do we call them? Pro judges on my Instagram. I didn't know we had professionals in the Instagram. Wow. So
I think part of that is, you are reminding people of the areas that they're lacking in, like they're seeing you dedicated and consistent, and it's almost like a reminder of what they're not doing. Either that, or they just have a hard time kind of accepting this newer version of you. They're just kind of attached to the old version, and they don't want to let that version go. So it's hard for them to accept the new Dom.
Yeah, I think that might be part of it too. A lot of people. So, like I said, I scanned through I've watched a couple of videos, clips with you guys together, and you were talking about, I believe your part of your journey was also, and Aaron's as well. I believe you both are doing no alcohol. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Sober.
Okay, cool. So I hate to use, so I'm going to just speak my mind. That way, maybe your listeners, I don't know how many listeners you guys got yet. I hope that whoever is listening will kind of get something out of it. Hopefully it helps them out in some sense. When I hear the word, for me, like I like the idea of the word sober, but for me, I'm not trying to down on you guys or anybody else, but what I'm getting at is that the word sober, I always feel like that always constitutes that you had a problem with alcohol. Like, oh, I have a problem with alcohol, so now I'm sober. Like X amount of days, right? So I just say, I don't drink. You know what I mean? So that was part of that was my part of my, like, I never had a problem with alcohol. In fact, the problem was I wanted to drink more of it. You know what I mean? Like, I love alcohol. I love beer. I would have a cold beer right now if I could. You know what I mean? Like, it's Sunday, I would throw some barbecue, but you know what? It doesn't align with my goals.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and like Steven doesn't drink at all, but I was like, I'll drink here and there. Like, I haven't drank in my 40s yet, and I just turned 40. But I said, like, at your wedding, I'll drink. Like the event, and I just feel like the event has to be big enough and worthwhile enough to drink a few. You know, instead of just sitting there, just like, oh, it's just Friday, let's drink.
Yeah. That's where I was. It was.
Yeah, I feel like for me personally too, I was like, I kind of feel like I did have a problem with it. My fiance doesn't agree, but I was more of like a weekend drinker. But on those days that I did drink, it was like I would go balls to the walls, like get as drunk as I possibly could. So it's like I couldn't just have one. Like I couldn't have two. It was like I had to go all in. It's like all or nothing. Yeah. And I just got into a point where, I'm older, I'm getting hangovers. I have a son. And then my dad, he actually passed from alcoholism. So I'm like, what am I doing with myself? So
yeah, it makes sense.
At a certain point, I just kind of had to reflect and just decide it wasn't for me anymore.
Yeah. So, but did you think you had a problem? Because it sounds like you were pushing that. Like, I did.
I feel like I did. Like it was becoming a problem where it was interfering with just like the regular things in life. Especially like when you get older, I don't know how old you are, but I just hit 40. I'm like, as soon as I was in my 30s, like I'd start to get these like 3-day hangovers where, I'd have to pay for a night or a weekend of drinking for, half a week.
Yeah. Then you go, was it really worth it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm old too. That was my thing in 2020. It was just, that was part of it. I didn't want to. Yeah, I was like, okay.
You stay young now by working out.
Yeah, you know what really helped when I was. I call it the fountain of youth. When I guess I don't know if I preach. I don't want to sound like I'm better than anybody else. I always feel like when I start talking about stuff like this, I'm like, it makes me sound like I'm super special or something. I'm like, I'm not special at all. I just showed up every day. That's it. I stopped dicking around basically. And I was like, I want to go to the gym. I'm actually use the membership. It's literally right there, like literally right there. And you can do a lot. And those big muscle guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Ronnie Coleman, all these, Olympia winners, they all started at some gym doing the same thing. Like, here's a circle, pick it up. That's all it is, and that's just weight training. And then you can include your cardio, you can include everything else that comes along with the gym. That's allotted to you while you pay for that gym membership. So I love it. Like, I love it. After this, I'll probably head over there. I'll probably grab my wife and, hey, we're going, let's go.
Yeah,
I've been talking with these other two fellas. We're fucking, we're gonna go to some weights.
Yeah. So, getting pumped up now. How did your physique look before 2020? Because you said my before and after. How'd your before and after look?
Oh man. So that's kind of a bummer. I didn't take a before and after picture, and like, when's the after picture? I think is what I always think, like, what's the after picture? Like, what point in this process? Like, I'm always trying to progress, right? I'm always trying to either get bigger, or I'm always trying to get a skinnier waist or bigger legs, or whatever the case may be. But before, I can tell you this, I was a beer gut. It was beer gut. And okay, I could tell you my story. I've actually put it in my podcast, actually, my story, my very first episode of Muscleville Inc. I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah, I've listened to it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I'll repeat it here for you guys.
My memory.
Yeah, it'll be real quick. So 2019, I'm walking around drinking beer all the time, go to work. I'm old school, after work, crack a cold beer, long day, whatever. Well, the wife would be like, "Hey man, like, we can't go anywhere. You can't drive us." I'm like, "Okay, well, you drive then." She's like, "No." Like, bro, like, like, and then I'd be all tired. So then I'd go to bed. I work nights, a lot of night shift work. Yeah. So fast forward, 2020, I decided I'm going to turn 40, and this is my year. This is my year to get jacked. I want to get ripped.
Yeah.
I want to be, like, sauced up, like, big buff guy, and this and that, right? And I was almost 200 pounds not working out. So I would look in the mirror, and I was getting like natural gyno. So if you know what that is, it's like that when you start gaining weight. So I can't even say the whole word, but basically, like, you've heard of like dudes who do steroids, and then when they come off, they get boobs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's high estrogen levels, right? So if you gain weight, your estrogen levels will probably shoot up as well. So if you ever notice, like, guys have, they have the man boob or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I was getting a little bit of wrinkle on the right side. I was getting a little bit of wrinkly action going on. And I was getting really bummed out. I would look in the mirror, and I looked sideways, and it was like my gut come out. My arms were small, like, just everything. Like, I was just looking in the mirror. Like, I've always been a skinny guy, like a real skinny guy. Like in high school, I was like $145 to $150, 5'11", not very, very, very big, always skateboarding, always active. And then, life gets ahead of you, and you have a kid and this and that, right? So 2020 is my year. I'm like, I'm going to drop this weight. I go, look at this. I'm getting like a man boob. No. And then my wife's looking at me like, yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. And I was like, no, this is ridiculous. So 2020 comes around. There's a I'm going to name off a place. So, and there's a worldwide podcast. So there's a place called Fitness 19 that's in Southern California. It's near my house at the time. And they basically, on January 1st, 2020, they closed the damn gym. And they were going to redo a new gym over here in the next city over. So I was like, damn, like, I was going to sign up again.
Yeah.
Well, nope. So I just waited it out, and I was like, all right, well, I just look into a different gym. Like a month later. Oh, and then on top of that, I quit drinking. I was like, nah, I'm not going to drink. Like, I'm too busy. My kid's in volleyball at the time. I can't really I need to be able to drive. I need to have my wits about me. Yeah. So I kind of just laid off the alcohol. I ended up getting bronchitis in January of 2020. So that just settled it right there. Right after bronchitis, COVID comes out. Yeah. COVID hits everybody, and everybody's closed. I'm like, fucking hey, dude. Like, what the fuck? So fast forward, some of the hotels start opening up. I go on a Father's Day vacation. 2 dudes are throwing the frisbee in front of my wife on the beach, Laguna Beach. We have this hotel room, and we're kicking it. And I'm with my daughter, pot belly and all, splashing around in the water.
Yeah.
These 2 dudes are throwing the frisbee in front of my wife, father and son. Son had to be like 19 years old, father in his 40s, completely jacked. And I'm not talking like big jacked, but they were like ripped, like 6 packs, thin waists, nice shoulders, the whole shebang. And my wife's just sitting there just enjoying the sun. Wink, wink. These dudes are throwing the frisbee back and forth, and I'm like, "Fucking A, man, this is some bullshit." So right after that, I started shopping, and I ended up getting making a whole gym, I guess, studio in my garage.
Yeah,
like pretty basic, a rack, dumbbell. I already had some dumbbells, and then from there, that was it. Every single week, I was working out after work. I work nights, so in the mornings, I was working out. And ever since then, it's legit. Like I lost from almost 200 pounds, like 199, literally like 199.
Yeah.
And it dropped down to 179.
Nice.
In like 6 months. It was weird. And I still didn't think I looked good at all. I was like, this is weird. I don't like what's going on here. And I would look, and you're critical of yourself. So I'm sitting there looking down at my belly and I'm like, oh no, it's still there. And even right now, as we speak, I look down, I still have a little bit of belly fat, and that's left over from beer. You know what I mean? And I'm like, boys, lay off the booze, and I promise you, you will get better energy, a lot more stamina. And if you're getting older, now I'm 43. I'm like, fuck. Now it doesn't matter. I'm just like tired all the time. So even when I get good sleep, so that's another issue. Sleep.
Yeah, sleep.
So,
I love sleep.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much like how it started, and then it turned into, I want to be in shape. I want to get big. I want to be, I want to be present. I don't want to drink anymore. And then it turned into an obsession. So
nice.
Every single day, you'll see something in my story about me being at the gym. You know what I mean?
So
As
you
you
7 days a week.
Good obsession to have.
Yeah, a little healthier than the other one.
Yeah.
So you go 7 days
funny,
a week.
Go for it.
Yeah, 6. Usually I take like Saturday just so I can sleep in the morning, and then sometimes it's 7. Sometimes it's 7. Yeah, but lately it's been 6. So not because I don't want to.
I was going to ask you, what kind of routine are you doing right now?
It's the same since I started. Same. It's just straight weight training. So it's literally like every single day is a different body part. So I know guys do different. What's that?
I was going to say, do you do like chest and tries or chest buys? Like, how's your split kind of broken down?
Okay. Yeah. So for me, I know a lot of guys will do what you just said, like they'll do 2 things. I like to just focus on 1 a day.
Okay.
And so far, I think it's worked out pretty good for me. So like I'll do arms, and it's both buys and tries. And I will completely destroy them in like 1 day. Yeah. It's brutal. So,
Nice.
and not always brutal, but when I go home and I don't feel like I brutalized myself, then I'm like, damn it, I could have did more, I always get that in my head. Now, legs are the ones that are the hardest to go brutal. So if you guys ever do legs, and if you ever do them like I have done them in the past, where you just can't walk anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, that's kind of like how I do the rest of my body. Like,
so you have
arms.
6 different parts that you use, or do you actually rotate like arms on the first day and like 6th day you're doing arms?
Yeah, I'll rotate. Yeah, I'll rotate. So like and usually ends up Fridays. I usually kind of just make my Friday like an anything day. Okay. So
whatever. So like done.
Yeah. Yeah, I go whatever, and then depending on who's on the gym, or if I'm running into somebody, I'm like, hey, what do you guys want to work? I'll work with you guys, or whatever, Yeah. If it's not sore.
Yeah.
Because there's guys that go in there with notepads. Yeah. They'll go in with notepads and they'll do all kinds of like, intricate, Einstein equations just so they can just do a bicep curl. So
yeah, I did a long run last week, and then my legs were really sore. And then like the second day, I was like, oh, it's leg day, but I was like, oh, my chest isn't sore, but my legs are still really sore. So I'm just going to do chest today because my legs needs another day of rest.
Yeah. So that's funny. I've actually gone to that gym where the bench press is open. Yeah. There's only 2 in the gym I go to normally. And I go, fuck it. I'm on it. And I'm doing chest again. I'm like,
even if it's sore. It's open.
Like
sometimes you gotta do it like that. It's so packed. Like, oh, this one's open. I'm doing this.
Oh, dude. So I see the gym you're going to, and that thing looks nuts. I went there I had a membership there once a long time ago when it was the other gym, other name.
Yeah.
Forget what was it? Bally's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Bally's. Like, I don't know, 20 years ago or 15, 16 years ago. 20 years ago. Yeah. And same layout, but I think now it's a little different where they put all their stuff now. Like, I haven't been there in a long time. So I know someone who goes there. Well, I know you go there. Yeah. And someone else. There's a few other people. Yeah. So are you a home gym guy yourself, Steven?
Yeah, I've, in the past I was going to Fitness 19 where I lived. So I understand like some of those peak hours where it's just packed. I've had days where I walked in and I just turned right back around, like where everything was just taken. I'm like, I'm working that at home today. But I started up about almost 4 months ago, and I've just been doing the kettlebell at home. So trying something different just to see what kind of results I could get from strictly a kettlebell kind of routine. Instead of kind of isolating each muscle, like I've done that route. So I'm like, let me just try this. And if it doesn't work, then, maybe I'll switch to something more where I'm hitting like chest and back, more isolate all the muscle groups. But
cool.
Trying to stick this up for now.
Kettlebell stuff though is it seems like kettlebell work is a lot of back. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot of back,
pulling,
legs.
Seems like.
Yeah. I did notice like my forearm is probably like as hard as it's ever been. I don't know if that's just from gripping it and you're having to swing it, keep it from like ripping out of your hands. Like my forearm has never been like it's almost like a rock right now.
Yeah.
It's never been like that before.
That's awesome. I use kettlebells. So like I'm not like a trainer, but anybody who works out with me who's new to weight training in particular, kettlebells are great for forearm grip. And what I literally, like what you just said, there's a reason for it. So what I'll do is I'll usually put like a noob or anybody, usually they get pissed because they feel like it's cardio and they're like, dude, it sucks. So I'll get them with 2 kettlebells, and it's going to build forearm strength because you're going to need it for later for other lifts. And basically fireman carries 2 heavy ass kettlebells, and I make them run with them, not just walk with them, run with them. Oh, wow. And it's horrible. I've done it. It's horrible. And it's a workout. It's like an intense workout. It burns jack shit for calories, but it gets your heart rate flying, and it gets those forearms and those traps lit up. So you run with them. I posted them a few times on my stories, or there might be a few posts on my Instagram, Muscleville Inc. Okay.
And TikTok.
Yeah. So you're running with these things, and you're just pumping it, right? And you're on one of those little grassy little knolls that they have at the gym, and you run with them, and you just fucking pump it, boom, 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 fast as you can. Then you drop them, and then you use a battle rope. Okay. Boom, 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 battle rope. And then afterwards, sit-ups. If you can do sit-ups, if you have something wrong with your back or whatever, then don't do sit-ups. You can do leg ups off those little, dip bars. Mm-hmm. And then after that, pull-ups if you have enough energy for that. So you can't go wrong with the basics: push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, dips. Yeah. So get proficient in those, and you can't go wrong. So, but yeah, the traps will light up from carrying the big weight because you're naturally want to pull up like this while you're running with them. And I mean, if you try it, it sucks. But it's a good workout. You feel great. Yeah. And then I throw their ass on a treadmill afterwards. Nice. Yeah.
And speaking of back problems, that's why I don't really do the kettlebell like things that he does, because I'm just like, man, that looks like it hurts my back. Because I work construction, so I've been in over 25 years, and my back's kind of messed up. But
yeah.
So how's that? A back problem as well? Huh?
Oh yeah, dude. I've been in like
how many injuries have you had?
I've had vehicle accidents. So when I was a kid driving around, I wasn't supposed to be driving around. That's the whole story. I got rear-ended by some guys who stole a car, and they just took off. So it just like whiplashed me. Never really got checked out. I was fine. I was like 20 or something, 21 maybe. And then just throughout the years, I'm also a truck driver. I've been in 2 big rig accidents where it kind of lit me up, and then just driving all night long.
Yeah. Bouncing around on your spine.
And then, so sometimes we'll go in here. I'm like, it's time to do some deadlifts. And I'm, right, big weight. And I still do it. Usually when I feel good and I'm not like lit up, but, I'm too chicken shit to go get an x-ray, honestly. Cause I'm afraid they're going to be like, yeah, dude, you're slip disc left and right, vertebrae, this, see this, see that, whatever the letters are for your vertebrae. I have no idea, but yeah, the lower back. So a lot of guys will skip out on squats and deadlifts because of that. Me. So yeah,
I had a major back injury last year in June. Mm-hmm. And wow, like I was like bedridden for like a week, and that pain just reminds me and then obviously it hurts from work and stuff. So like even like when I do curls, sometimes I was doing the curls and like I would come home and my back would hurt. And then I realized like, because last year I was doing more heavier stuff. Now this year I'm like, I'm lowering it down because my back hurt so much. So I actually was doing like 70s. Now I'm doing like 40s. But like I was like realizing I need to like clench my abs instead of like
I gotta yeah. So you got to brace. I have a remedy for that.
Okay.
When I hear it.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do standing curls and you're gonna use that, because I've seen you using the straight bar or the easy curl bar that has the preset weight, right?
Yeah.
So when you're lifting, everyone tends to naturally shoot back, right?
Yes.
They kind of lean back. So throw a belt on. So you need to buy a belt if you don't have a belt, and strap the shit out of your back and just boom. Okay. And then, or you could lower the weight. Another thing to do, if you're just trying to get a good lift in, lower the weight and do preacher curls. You can't go wrong with preacher curls.
What's preacher curls?
That's the one where you're going to lean over the pad and you're going to do curls over that pad. Yeah. So that's preacher curl station. Okay. And there's also the one where you sit and it's on a track.
Yeah. I'll use that one sometimes on my back.
Yeah, concentrate on those and you'll be fine for a while. And that way it could save your back. But if you do decide you want to stand up, wear a belt, brace.
Okay.
And
I got a belt, but I just never use it.
Yeah. So that's where that comes in. Yeah. So a lot of buddies of mine, same thing. Because I've gone through the same thing. Like literally, I knew exactly right when you said my back hurts when I do curls. I already knew. I was like, yeah, been there. Literally, I've done that where I'm like, fucking, I'm trying to throw the weight up as high, heavy as I can, and my back tries to jump in to help. And that's the problem, is that your instinct, your body decides for you. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do this. So then your back lights up. That's why there's so many YouTube videos of dudes getting technical about how to do a shoulder movement because let's isolate the delt, that way your trap doesn't light up. And just isolate. Yeah, that's why they can make so much content. You just need to do them all. Fuck it. That's what I say.
Yeah.
Do them all. And get fucking strong.
Dude, your belt is dope too. Like, how much does that belt cost? Because I bought like a $30 belt at 24-hour fitness.
Yeah.
It's like really? 30 some bucks. Yeah, they have them there. So it's not the greatest belt, but I see your belt and it's like, damn.
I got 2 of them.
Okay.
The first one was a Dick's Sporting Goods, and it was $30, and it's that leather one. And I kind of like, I guess I outlived it. I still have it. It works. It has its uses, but when you want to go like super heavy, it's not. It won't work out. But the other one is a Rogue belt, so it's a competition like belt, and that one was like about $150.
Okay.
And that's not even the one I really wanted. The other one I really wanted was a SBD, which is $250. SBD is like the one where all the power lifters and all the big guys are making whatever state records with. Beautiful belt, the clasp, everything on it. But the Rogue, great belt as well. $150, it better be good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and it's helped me out. Like, honestly, like, so I guess you want to get into numbers real quick?
Yeah.
I'll just give you an example. So that leather belt I have, you're like, oh, it's a cheap belt, right? $30. It'll get you through. I don't know what kind of belt you're using. I don't know if it's a Is it like a buckle belt?
It's like fabric. Yeah, it's like a buckle.
Fabric.
It's like fabric one, but it's like I think it has a buckle.
Yeah, I don't like the fabric ones, me personally, but like for your bicep curls, wear it. You may not look cool, but it's gonna save your back to some degree.
Young guys are gonna be like, look at that old man over there using a belt.
Yeah, you'll be surprised, man. Like, I see some youngsters, they're coming up smart. There's a couple of them over here that they tell me straight out, like, hey man, are you trying to like eagle lift or something? I'm like, no, I just need to lift this, man. And they're like, that's kind of heavy. I'm like, oh, bitch, get in here. You do it with me. But yeah, the weight, I got to a point where I was squatting, and there was the squat I was doing, it was heavy, but I wanted to go heavier. So I had that leather belt, and it was a $30 like leather belt. It's a Harbinger belt. And so I went to go squat, and I rack it, and I'm like, man, I want to go heavier. I feel like I can go heavier. And so I asked a buddy of mine across the way on a different squat rack, and go, hey, can I try your belt out? And he's like, yeah. And he's got that $250 belt, and it has the nice, the quick release. Beautiful. And it just so happened that it was like literally set to these belts have like screws to adjust it. You have to like get a screwdriver to adjust it. That's how they are. So I look at it and I go, I think it'll fit. So I put it on, rack, stacked up. I go, hey, you think you'd spot me real quick? And he's, yeah. So I did like 385, something like that. And now, boom, up, easy peasy. I'm like, man, that felt great. And my buddy goes, hey man, I think you got heavier. I think you could put 4 plates on. Yeah. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, you want to do it? And I'm feeling pumped. I got my ego going, and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. And he's like, yeah. I'll spot you. I'll put my hands like right around your chest area, and I'll be real close just in case. I mean, nothing weird, just 2 dudes squatting. Just 2 dudes squatting, bro. And then he fucking gets up there. I put on my belt. I'm like, all right, let's go. Put 4 plates on. I pick it up. I go, okay, easy peasy. Fucking go down nice and slow. And I shoot right back up. Boom. I could feel the belt, the pressure, the brace, my belly, my back muscles, everything pushing into the belt. And it felt super comfortable. I fucking, boom, racked that shit, 405. Afterwards, he goes, hey, man, I think you got more weight. I think you could do more. Okay. Are you sure? Yeah, dude, I'm right here. Fuck it. Let's go. So we went, I think 415, I think I did. 415. And there's a post in there somewhere. I'll shoot it at you later, but definitely at both of you guys. And I hit it like at 415, I believe. I mean, it wasn't down all the way for depth, but it was fucking heavy. So and that it was with that belt, and that sold me, dude. And then after that, I went home, told my wife, and I go, I need $150 minimum. And then, I balanced out the money, and I was like, fuck it. And I bought one, nice, through Rogue, because the other one you couldn't even get. It's like on back order. That's how popular it is. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's my story. So lift big. I haven't lifted that heavy since then. I'm 385, 395 has been the most since then. So I've kind of backed off, because it's like a quarterly thing or something. Like every 3 months, my back decides it doesn't like me. So then I gotta like chill. So, and then like you doing construction, like I can't imagine me doing construction and going and trying to do the hard, like trying to work out as hard as I have been. Yeah. I would just go home. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm going home. I already got to work out today.
Luckily, work as well.
Yeah. I probably only work out like 2 days a week or something after that. What's that?
You want to ask something, Steven? The question?
Oh no, I was laughing.
No,
but it's funny now that you mentioned it. Back in the days when I was hitting the squats at the gym, like I think I have a belt similar to that, where it's like some thick ass leather. You have to screw it in, and it just helps keep all that pressure. So you, like you said, that you have something to push against. Yeah. It's kind of crazy how it works. Like, I don't know, it almost doesn't make sense that a belt would help you build a lift more, but it does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. it's that brace that you get where it's like, I don't know, it's like you're protecting your spine basically.
Yeah.
You know, and
core.
Obviously they sell like Home Depot. You walk into Home Depot, you see all those dudes with like the lifting belts, you know, for their back braces. So there is something to it. There's guys I've met who they don't want to use them. They're like, nope, won't use them. Don't want to use it. I want to be strong around my waistline. Man, you can do that, you know, as an actual exercise. Like right now, my wife has, she has scoliosis, intense scoliosis her whole life, right? So she has actual metal that goes up her back.
Oh.
So, and she had that since she was a kid. So one of the struggles that we have is doing back workouts and having it be actually useful for her to do the workouts and stuff that she can do. So a lot of stuff, it's difficult for her to do, like a deadlift, because her spine is really rigid because of those, metal rods that she's got shooting up that are guiding her back to be straight. Right. Mm-hmm. So keeping a strong core is something that we've been trying to focus on a lot, which is a lot of like planks, which we haven't been doing lately, but that's on the agenda.
I need to
usually
do that.
Yeah, planks will really help. She can't really do sit-ups, so a lot of leg lifts. She got to do a lot of leg lifts to kind of compensate for that, and it's not easy. So you have to like work around your injuries and all your little, whatever nuances that you have to live with, like back injuries. Like if you can't do the actual workout because your back, will find a different workout. Yeah. Like you can't do squats, right? Okay, well, if you don't do squats, then you better do leg presses, or hack squat. You could do the I forget the name of it, where you hold your dumbbell up here and then you squat. I think I might have seen you do them a couple times, right?
Yeah, I think
it's kind of like
Yeah, I think they consider it like almost like a front squat.
Yeah,
because you have the weight is in front of you. If you want two dumbbells, or
it's got a name. I can't remember the name. I should know it because I do them sometimes. So when my back is messed up, so lunges, walking lunges
help the abs.
So, yeah, you want to, and it's going to help your core overall and that spine as well. You want to keep all of that nice and tight because it's going to help on other lifts too, especially like you said, you're doing your curls.
Yeah,
you're going to want to get those. So because you want your biceps to grow, right? You want your arms to grow. You don't want your back to go out on you.
Totally opposite of what I want.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of times I'll isolate that. I've worked with a couple other guys where they do some weird stuff. They'll get on like a machine that's not even intended for biceps, and they'll like hang over it with like a rope, and they're doing this thing where their arm is like lodged in over the top of a bar, and then just wacky stuff that you don't necessarily need to do it. But I see it. I see why, because it's isolating. It's eliminating everything else from doing anything except for that bicep. So, yeah. So, have you ever seen a dude with huge arms like that?
Yeah.
And guys, he's getting it, or he's on steroids. If they're bigger than you, they're always on steroids.
People are always talking about steroids. Like, man, it's like if they're not doing it for like a competition like UFC or something, then I don't see the real problem in it. Like if you're like, you're on steroids, well, if they want to get that big and do it, like they're just doing it for themselves. Like I don't personally, I'm just trying to get
those guys still have to put in the work too. I'm like, you just don't take steroids and sit around and get buff. They're still lifting crazy and pushing themselves. So.
Oh man, that's what I thought. I was about to go hit up the local gym rat. That way I could just sit and chill and just fucking inject, and that's it.
Do nothing. Look like Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, do nothing. Just sit there. Yeah, I know. That's a big misconception for people who don't lift. So once you start showing like insane like gains, and I don't know if it's insane, but like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I got a couple bumps here and there, and I'm not a saint on social media either. I have gotten to a few political arguments Well, the first thing these motherfuckers do is they go on my page and they scan through it because I like my shit open because anyone can follow me. I don't care. And they start scanning through it. And I had an insult and it says, "This is what happens when you take steroids. You become stupid like this motherfucker," some shit like that. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at it and I'm sitting here looking at it and I go, he thinks I take steroids. Fuck yeah.
That's a compliment. Yeah.
This is a compliment. Yeah.
It's a backhanded compliment and I like it. I like it. And I go, fuck yeah.
You insulted me.
Yeah. And then I went on his profile. I was like, oh, he's like, man bun kind of guy or whatever, like the soy latte type thing, which I like soy lattes. What the fuck? But anyway, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like I just got owned because I'm not on steroids, but he thinks I am. And I didn't even look like I do today. I think today I look way better than I did at that time of that. It was like a year and a half ago or something. It was like I don't know. It was like a political something argument or some girl. I can't remember. It was like a news post or something. I was making a comment and the guy's like, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "I guess so." Yeah. "You're a dummy. You just lift weights. You're dumb." I'm like, "I guess so." I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah. I go, I guess.
I was gonna ask you, I don't know why I have this vibe that has working out like helped your mental fitness at all?
Hell yeah. So this 2022 from summer to summer has been a real challenge. Just some personal stuff that's gone on. Yeah. And even during the pandemic, like a lot of people were really depressed. Like you can't, okay, so I get it. This young kids are victimizing themselves in the world. Everyone's got like something on a spectrum. They always say, I was on TikTok during that time with a different account, and my account would show me different things back then. It was really weird. And I would always run into these, I'd be swiping up and I'd be like, why are these kids like talking about their like, excuse the language, but they're saying they're retarded on a spectrum. I'm like, you look fine. You sound fine. You're creating like, I sound dumber than you, and they're sitting there like, I'm on the spectrum of autism and this, like, no, you're not, dude. Like you are not. You are making stuff up. Like there's so much stuff that's being made up in the world. And I'm thinking to myself, like language as well. Kids are coming out with their new words left and right. Remember the word yeet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I talked to my daughter about it. She's a Gen Z and she's like, that's stupid. That's cringe. And I go, yeah, she's on the younger side of the Gen Z. So she got that's a millennial and Gen Z kind of word, but there's a lot of terminology that's being made up, and it's all these idle minds and idle hands that are going off doing this stuff. And it's like, well, if you don't have time to think about those things and keep yourself busy, you're not going to be a victim. You're going to be busy. You're going to get yourself right. And so I always say, I don't think the gym necessarily is the place for mental acuity, but I think being physical, getting some exercise, being mobile, don't be sedentary, don't sit there on your phone. Like I do it sometimes and I'm on my phone. Like my girls, they'll say like, your dad, you're always on your phone, like constantly blah, blah, but it's usually because I'm posting something of my own of me being at the gym, or something like that. Yeah. But
branding.
And yeah, exactly. At least I'm trying. I don't know. It's been doing it for too damn long and it's not working out. But but yeah, it's this sedentary lifestyle and these excuses that everyone gives themselves. Like, well, I'll start Monday. I'll start Tuesday. I was really busy on Monday, so we're gonna do it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, well, what was wrong with Sunday, fucker?
Yeah.
Oh, I had church.
A lot.
Yeah.
Like
I had
Steven
church.
Says, you either have excuses or results. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing is that was like a thing back in 2020 is a lot of people were going through all this mental health problems. There's always people going through mental health problems. Go get some exercise, go outside, get some sun on the face. There's some truth to that guy, the Liver King. He's outside, he's having fun, he's getting sun on the face, or what his whole mantra, is being outside and doing shit with your hands. And now I get it. There's people that live with the white collar life, but those are the people that you got to target as well, to be your listener or train them, like doctors and, people who, the high earners, they are the ones that don't have the time, necessarily to go out to go on a thing. But when they do, they choose not to, just depending. So, but to answer the actual question, I think I went off on tangent. Yeah, for mental, my anything that's like depressing or anything, like I wipe that shit out. Like, I get bummed out about stuff. But if I'm busy, like putting myself through some grueling workouts, like that shit don't matter. Like there's nothing in this first world country that should bother me except for taxes. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it.
Yeah, like, exactly.
Like taxes. That's it.
Like I always say, too,
go ahead.
You are what you focus on too. And like a lot of people think like I'm just a depressed person. Like, but we're emotional beings. Feelings are fleeting. You don't just feel one feeling every day consistently, but people just want to focus on that. So then they become that. But if you focus on the gym and focus on working out, you don't have the time to sit there and focus on how you're depressed. That's what I try to do. I just stay active.
Yeah. I know guys that are, they're in a good mood. They're broke as hell. They should be depressed by all standards. You know what I mean? Like, they're getting themselves in trouble. I mean, there's people who just make bad choices in general, but at the end of the day, like if you're in a good spot, like I feel like if you've got a smartphone in your hand, you're probably in a good spot, right? Yeah. So you can make the choice to either sit and be worried about whatever it is that you're worried about. Obviously, money is usually the driving factor in our society here in the U.S. Then get off your ass and go find that job, right? So if you've got the job and you're tired of it, get up and go find another one. Same thing. You're tired of looking in the mirror and sitting there looking like a fat slob. Get up and fucking go work it off. You know what I mean? I'm so many times where I'm eating something and I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't be eating this. And I'm like, fuck, half of it's eaten and the other half's back down on the ground. And I'm like, all right, caught myself. But for the most part, you still have to live a little bit. But back to that question. If I was ever depressed, I worked it out in the gym. So, when I go there, like I try to, everything else is out the door. Yeah. Like we're there to.
I'm too tired to be depressed after that workout.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like I'm thinking about food afterwards. Like a protein shake. I'm trying to treat myself, reward myself for my workout rather than, and I earned it. You know what I'm saying? I earned that shit. Like if I want to go have a big ass fucking cupcake, I'm going to go eat it because I earned it. I mean, that's kind of not a good thing to do, but you know what I'm saying?
Every once in a while, you're all right.
Yeah, exactly. But people be eating cupcakes nonstop. Like that's like their breakfast.
Oh yeah. So that's what it used to be me. And when I was 230 and that other picture you've seen, I was eating so much junk food. Yeah, I was 230.
What's your height?
5'7".
5'7", 230. Yeah, that's big, bro.
Yeah, so I had a big old pregnant belly. Yeah. I would eat like in the morning a Red Bull, like a Hostess cake, like, and then like lunchtime I would go get another like cake from like Carl's Jr., one of the big old meal, with the big soda. Yeah. And then at dinner I'd go eat a milkshake too. And then I'd eat some candy. I would just eat so much sugar and candy. It just,
dude, that's a lot.
Yeah. That's why I started getting pre-diabetes and high blood pressure and all this stuff.
I was about to say, like type 2 coming your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to make lifestyle changes because, that's the only way out of it.
Damn. Okay. So we're going to do a podcast on you now. Let's flip this shit around. So let's switch this shit around. Let's get you talking. So when did you start okay. So I know it's hard to say start dates and then end date, but what was how long, just roundabout months, I guess, when, or should I say how many months have you been going at it consistently Yeah.
I'll just say this. I started, like even in 2019, I look at my memories and stuff from Facebook, and I was eating a healthy meal here or hiking here and there, trying to like start it off. So I think it was like a slow progression of trying to get into it because I knew I was trying to get healthy. But then, so it's just kind of that, just doing that a little bit, eating healthy here and there, and then going back to it, like it's doing it for a week or two.
Yeah.
And around 2022 is when I really started doing it, like around June of 2022. I was like, I'm going to start getting healthy. And that's when I actually started going to the gym. I got a gym membership, and, I had a membership before, but didn't go.
Like a year.
Yeah. Around a year and a half. But then I was doing it for consistently for like 4 or 5 months. And then around December, Christmas time, I got off of it. I started getting like down and stuff. And I was going to do a marathon this year in March. And like a few months before it, I started getting fatter again and just fell off of it. Then after the marathon, I actually got back on it again. So that was March of this year. And I started actually losing weight. But every time I'd get down like 190, I would like go back. I'm like, oh, I made it to 190, and then just go back to it. And like, it was not sustainable. And then I was like, that's when I realized like I just felt really bad, like odd and stuff. Like when I would eat the food at construction and stuff. And then that's when I went and got a high blood pressure meter and realized
you got a cuff
for your blood sugar. And that's when I realized my shit was just way up. And that's why I was feeling real bad. So I was like, oh, I need to start eating healthy. And then, so I just started eating Subway, and like, I still felt bad. And then I realized that was high in like salt and stuff too.
Yeah.
So then
bread.
Yeah. So I started losing weight before August. So I'd say a few months before that of this year. But then when I turned 40 is when I was like, okay, I'm 40 now. I really have to dial in. And so since August, I've been on it like really good, so that's awesome. That's when I got down to the 179, but now I'm like 183 now. So I got to get back on it a little bit better.
Well, you probably are going to be fighting two worlds, the body fat versus muscle.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like that's
one of my questions too. Like, can you lose body fat and gain muscle? Because right now I'm trying to get 6-pack and lose the body fat first. That was my main goal. And
definitely.
Eventually, but I still work out the muscles, because I don't want to lose the muscle that I have. So
2 things. So body fat. So I'm sure you see my stories. I struggle with body fat. I don't think I struggle with it. I pretend I do, but I do. Well, I do.
You're trying to lose some.
Yeah. So I'm pretty leaned out to a degree, but I could be leaner. You know what I mean? So
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And I seen you could, I get it. Like we all could be leaner. So like I've seen your posts and I was like, oh, okay, this guy's get it. So I can already see like if I was to work with you guys, I'd know exactly what I would be putting you guys on. And it would be high protein, like straight up like days where you're just eating straight meat and a protein shake, like straight up, like fucking like animals.
What's high protein for you? How many grams?
I'm talking like chicken and beef, like, and maybe rice just to give you energy, like just chicken, beef, and rice. Yeah. Fuck the fish. Yeah. I mean, you want to throw tuna in there for taste, but literally for like a week, it will dry you out. You will be like, so for you, Steven, you could use probably, I'm pointing over there. Like you can see that there's a big old protein thing over there. You could use straight up like meat, like beef patties and chicken. Cause you're like my build right now. You're my build, like in my 30s, and you can, it's funny how the thing's going from you to Steven. the camera. There it is. There you are. It's like going back and forth. Sorry. Anyway, for the listeners actually listening, we're using video chat. So Steven, I would straight up say chicken. Try it for like a week. I don't know what your diet is now, but tank up on like chicken. And chicken and vegetables, and seriously, like at least 2 times. It's hard. I don't know what your job is. I don't know like what your time frame is. For me to eat like 3 chicken meals a day, that's hard because of my work schedule and then my gym time, and plus like it gets boring, but it's hard. So a lot of sauce. Aaron, same thing. like literally the same thing, and you will see changes within like 2 weeks. And when you go to the gym, supplement. So train, like for you, creatine. Aaron, he wants to taper down more and lean out.
Mm-hmm.
So straight up meat, chicken and beef. Like I'm talking like post meal, like when you go to the gym, like afterwards, you got to eat like nasty stuff, like two burger patties, 3 burger patties by themselves, with eggs, and just live off that for like your stomach's gonna not feel so great, but your body's gonna improve. You're gonna see results a lot better. And when you're going to the gym, I don't know how many times a gym you go, but I mean, when you work out, like it can't just be like, oh, I broke a sweat because I did cardio. You got to be like breaking a sweat because you pumped weight. You were like pumping the iron. Like if you ever watch like, videos of these dudes are like sweating and they're just fucking like lifting, whatever. I don't know. They're doing back, cable rows, and they're like sweating because they're spending like 30 to 40 minutes on that machine, and they're using it. They're not just going 4 sets, boom, 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 4 sets, back and forth, and then getting off and then go, all right, you're next, bro, and take off. They're literally on it, using it for what it's intended. So like right now, like if I were to put you guys like on I do it with my wife all the time, or whoever comes with me, we'll sit and we'll do cable rows, and we'll just sit there, and we'll just change the weight, boom, boom, and we'll work. So if you've noticed that last post I posted, it's my back. Like I'm proud of that shit, because because I do a shitload of back stuff, and that's because I use the machine what it's intended for, to actually use it, rather than just doing like, I'm doing 4 sets of 10, boom, 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 boom. Okay, done, and walk away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then obviously that post, work out what you're going to eat afterwards. That really counts. A lot of guys will go Jack in the Box and they'll get like a burger or something. It's like, no, I don't say don't eat burgers. Just,
my metabolic health, that's why I don't eat fast food anymore. But what do you think about ribeye steaks?
Oh yeah, dude. Steak, definitely. Steak will get you hungry though, honestly. Yeah. So if you ever tried to like, no, chicken's good too, but like, trust me, and then back over to Steven, creatine, by the way, hop on creatine.
I've been taking creatine ever since I started again, just the cheap creatine monohydrate. So I've been doing that ever since I started.
Yeah. So that'll help you with your, it's going to bloat you a little bit. But you got to drink a lot of water. So
you should get like a gallon.
It'll do a little bit of strength for you. It'll give you a little bit more strength. I mean, even Aaron, same thing, but just seeing what I see, just judging by like, body and physique and stuff like that. Like Aaron wants to, like, I feel like you want to drop more pounds.
Yes, definitely. I'm trying to get down to like low 170s.
Yeah. So that would be the diet part. So, I would always say what I just said about the meat, stay off the carbs, try to stay away from bread. It's hard.
What about beans?
Beans are great.
Okay,
yeah. Beans are fine.
Some fiber up in there.
Yep. You want to be able to go to the bathroom, because if you're eating a lot of chicken, like it'll stuff you up a little bit. But that's where your vegetables come in. If you got vegetables, steamed vegetables are really great.
I love broccoli.
Yeah. Or even raw. I mean, prepared to smell up the gym. Yeah.
Definitely.
During COVID, when you're allowed to go into the gym, but you had to wear a mask.
Yeah.
You could eat whatever and no one will know. Everybody had a filtered nostril. So, what was I going to say? Oh, so I always usually suggest, which is probably not good for you, but if you do it for at least like maybe a month, I don't know, like a cycle, if you will, finding some kind of a fat burner, and that will help with your dieting. So supplement that together.
Yeah, I don't take no supplements. I just take protein drinks. So,
what helped me out, I used a product through Steel Supplements called Shredded as Fuck, or Shredded AF, and it kind of gets you sweaty a little bit. but the first time I ever took it, it was like a couple years ago. And that's also what probably got me down to 179. So I would pop one of those, and it's loaded with caffeine, and it's basically a appetite suppressant. So you still get hungry, you're still going to eat, but now you have a little bit more extra time to think like, okay, I'm not going to eat whatever that is, garbage over there, tortillas today, or whatever it is, that's unhealthy. It'll give you a little bit of time to be like, all right, let me make a better educated, choice. So let me go for that higher protein food. You're going to snack less. Snacking is the hardest thing for most of us. And basically what you're fighting is your metabolism because you're older, right? So a 20-year-old Steven, 20-year-old Aaron probably could eat whatever the fuck they want, drink whatever they want, and lose it quick.
Put on weight.
Yeah. And you just lose it quick. Yeah. So now fast forward to 40-year-old you,
whole different story.
Fuck no. You like literally me right now, like I'm on an empty stomach right now. When I got out of bed and I took a quick shower, jumped out, I looked down at my gut and I looked like I was skinny. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as I put something in my stomach, like I had a banana earlier and I was like, oh, fat again. You know what I mean? Like it's just how it is. It just feels that way. But the reality is I don't look any different than I did last week. So, but you start to get that and then you start grabbing your gut and you're like, fuck, I got to work this out. So what am I going to do this? It's all diet.
Yeah.
It's all diet.
It's funny something you were saying earlier. I'm like, you're just like me. I was like, when I was in high school, I think I was $150, about 6 foot tall. I could put down like 5-6 whoppers, wouldn't gain anything, but I was skating all day too. I'd skateboard as soon as I got out of school till it got dark every single day. So I could eat anything and I would just stay 150, just tall, scrawny. And that's how I was for a while.
Yeah. I lived outside too. Yeah. Even after high school, I was like still running around because our generation didn't really have phones, right?
Yeah.
So, bicycling, skateboarding. Yeah.
Cable, actual TV, like is what we had. You'd have to actually be home and then listen to your parents and be like,
there was no recording it.
Yeah. I think DVRs came out maybe later. Yeah. And that was it. Like, and who'd want to like hang out with their parents, right? No. At that time, we're like, fuck this, I'm out. I got a skateboard, or I got a bike, When you turn 18, that's a whole different story in itself, So I necessarily didn't stick around too long. So and I still say, and health wasn't even like that was the furthest thing from my mind. 20 years ago, this guy here, I would hate me. Like literally I would hate me. I'd be like, fuck that guy. That guy
he's talking about
walking around with the fucking muscles, wearing the alpha shirt, like, oh, who is this guy? Like, who is this guy? For the people who are listening, I'm wearing a shirt that says alpha on it. I'm not an alpha. I don't claim, but if you meet me, maybe, who knows? But like, they like literally like, and here's another thing. Once you start building muscle, and I'm gonna throw this at you guys because I see you guys on my phone right now. I see you guys on my screen. I'm gonna tell you guys like this. This comes from a place of love for the gym and for weightlifting. Work your shoulders, work your chest. It will change the way you look. I don't care about any of those other muscle groups right now. For men, get those broad shoulders out. Get them big, get those shoulders out, shoulder presses, doesn't matter. Shoulder presses, bench press, dumbbell presses, wide grip, center grip, whatever. Just pump them up.
Push-ups.
It will change the way you look, your physique. Because when I walk into a room and I see a dude who has big shoulders, big chest, like I'm kind of like, could I take that dude? If I needed to, did he beat me up? Like men always like look like, or they'll get jealous. Like that guy's big, like that dude's a big dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. And And that's where it comes from. It's that big, broad chest, wide shoulders, and that's what will separate you from like the guy who does it. That makes it obvious. Like, I'm dedicated. You know what I'm saying? You want to get more dedicated, take your shirt off and have a six pack, right?
Yeah.
And that's when people are like, "Oh, this fucking guy is nuts." And he's over 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you're in 1% then.
Yeah. So that's where, if you want to change your physique like quick,
pull-ups,
if you want to change
too, right?
It's supposed to be for lats.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You want to, but incorporate the pull-ups. How many pull-ups can you do right now?
I do about 4. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Steven?
I haven't done pull-ups for a while. I could probably knock out 10.
Yeah.
He's way better than I am. I've seen him do it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I have a wrist issue. So I pretty much have only been training. You probably won't agree with this, but just the one side of my body. So but I haven't been incorporating like a bench press kind of a thing again, but it's just the one side.
What is that, because of the wrist?
Yeah. So like when I was in my 20s, I fractured it and it didn't heal right. So now that I'm 40, the last time I went to the doctors, he's like, you're 38 and you have end stage arthritis. So it got all like inflamed. Basically, I was watering the grass, just this back and forth motion, and then it felt like a sharp pain. And then after that, I was like swollen for like a week or two.
How is it now?
It's like little things will set it off. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just not gonna push it, and I'll just work out. If that's all I could do is just work out one side of my body, like that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of things going on here. You said it's like intense arthritis, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can look into peptides. That might be a solution. I hear this BP 157 thing is supposed to be like a really great thing. Obviously classic ibuprofen. So
yeah,
but the BP 157 peptide, allegedly, I dare not take it. I've not tried it. I don't have anything that really constitutes like an injury like that where I would think I would need it.
Okay.
I do have a shoulder thing from years ago where the AC joint got pushed up. So, but that doesn't really bother me too much, but it would be technically an impingement, right?
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, a lot of guys will say that they'll take that, they'll have like an injury, or like they'll have, what's that called? Tennis elbow. And they'll inject this BP 157. It's called the Wolverine supplement or something like that. And after like a week, it's almost like magic. Like they're healed up. That's why it's called the Wolverine. Yeah, it's like healing. Look into it, might help. Also, to navigate around that, have you tried wrist wraps for your wrist?
Not while working out. No.
Yeah. So
I was looking into them at one point. I'm like, but this help? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like,
so wrist wraps, they're kind of a weird thing. So when I first started, like I said, I was balls to the wall. So I was like, my first week, it was like two days a week. Second week, maybe 3. The next week, it was like a couple days. And then it progressed. And then I was benching every week. And then, I was trying to lift heavy all the time, every time. So my wrist, same thing. The joints balled up and they got inflamed really, really bad. I didn't go to the doctor or anything like that. I just kind of like chilled out, whatever, didn't go as heavy, and it hurt. And then someone told me, hey, get wrist wraps. So I didn't listen and I kept doing it. So it would basically screw my wrist up. And I ended up getting it on both sides. And it was really, really bad, like really bad. Like I couldn't even like grab, like objects off the table without my wrist hurting. And it was really, really bad. So one side did it and it would heal. Then the other side would go up and it would do the same thing. And I remember my left side took a long time. I couldn't wear my watch correctly. And eventually it went away. But I ended up buying wrist wraps so that when I lift heavy for a bench press, it basically stabilizes your wrist. So it's going to hold it up nice and straight. and up. And a lot of times, if you're not bench pressing correctly and you have bad form with your wrists, because that was another part of it too. I was probably benching really crooked, so my wrist was like snapping back. So a lot of times when your wrist is snapped back, that tendon that goes all the way down and ligaments down in your elbow will light up as well. So a lot of guys will get the tennis elbow and they'll have wrist problems. So, so if you want to try to get back into it, if you got at least do push-ups, I would definitely say do the push-ups. And if you want to get back into like actually bench pressing on both sides, Stephen, try some wrist reps, give it a shot, do lightweight just to see if you get inflamed or not. And hopefully you can get back into the game. But if you can do push-ups, I would definitely recommend doing push-ups. So
maybe I'll get the wrist wraps and try push-ups again, because I remember the last time I was trying push-ups, like it started feeling weird. I'm like, I should probably back off on that again.
Yeah, if you do the push-ups though with wrist wraps, do them on your knuckles, because you want to keep.
Yeah, that's like, well, ever since
I usually hold a dumbbell when I do mine.
Yeah,
ever since I missed like this wrist, I'm trying to figure out the camera. Like obviously this one has my normal one could flex normal, but this like that's all it goes. So that
you don't need to go down. Yeah,
I'd have to basically do them on my knuckles.
Yeah,
like my wrist won't bend that way to do
it's
it. Like
literally what I went through. But obviously you went to the doctor. But I'm just saying I had an issue where I actually couldn't do I couldn't lift because of it. It was so bad. But that wasn't because I have like chronic arthritis or anything like that. But like if you said you had an injury before, somehow you got to be able to navigate around it or use the machine where you're sitting and you're pushing forward. So they have those machines as well. So there's something for, everything. You don't necessarily have to do an actual bench press. There's other machines you can try to use to kind of navigate around it. But yeah, I always stress, like if you're a man, this is like the cheat code. Get the shoulders, light them up, light up the chest, and you will definitely see a big change. And just the way people perceive you too. When you walk into a room, it's very different in comparison. And the way you're talked to by younger folks who are like little dudes. And it's like, wow, like almost like a little intimidation, because I'm not a big guy. I'm not. But
kind of look like it, but
you know what I mean?
Story here is like Steven used to he has a page on Instagram called Fitness Mentality. That was his old page. And he got really pretty swole, 6-pack and everything. This was 11, 12 years ago. And we were hanging out in Huntington Beach. And just by being that physique of like being really swole and like fit and stuff, some guys just comes up to him and just like they want to just check his ass. They're like, what are you about? Get in his face. Like he's wearing an American flag shirt. Remember that? And they were talking about like,
I remember that.
And I'm just like, they're just doing it just because you're swole, and they're younger guys too, and they're swole. So it's like, oh, let's go see what he's about.
That's weird. Something. That's some weird ego shit right there.
Yeah, it was kind of. I'm sitting there all out of shape and not really fit, and just sitting there like, ain't even fucking with me.
That is weird.
Yeah.
So like, what happened?
Steven's pretty passive, so he kind of just like, oh, okay, whatever.
I was just saying,
they finally just walked off.
They were saying, because I had like a tank top and it was like the American flag, and they're like, oh, that's disrespectful. I have friends in the army, and
that's what it was.
Yeah. And I was like, I didn't mean any disrespect. Flag? I'm like, I'm wearing it to represent.
Yeah, it was a holiday.
And it's funny because that night I was like, I ran into other like people actually in the military. I'm like, does this shirt offend you? And they're like, no, I like it. I'm like, see, this guy is actually in the military. He don't give a damn. But these other guys, I have a friend that's in the military, and they would not like it. And
I know a guy who knows a guy who went into the recruiting office and like
I figured
asked some questions.
I figured he asked questions. Small, so they're trying to like check him. Like, oh, this guy thinks he's tough. Let's go see how tough he is.
Wow, that is crazy. That is some wild shit right there. No, I've been.
I used to also wear a shirt that said "Fighting solves everything," and I don't think I ever got into trouble wearing that one.
Wow. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. So that's funny because I try not to wear like shirts that are like that kind of draw attention.
Yeah, I was younger.
Well, not the American flag. The American flag. Come on, guys.
Come on, that was what I was saying.
What the fuck's wrong with you guys? Get the fuck out of here. Like, Like it's
on a holiday
like,
too. It was like
on a holiday, like, bro,
4th of July.
Like, hey, bro, you trying to be disrespectful? Oh, hell out of here.
Weirdo. Biceps out of here.
Yeah. Get out of here, weirdo. Yeah, like sometimes like this shirt I'm wearing right here, it says Alpha on it. Sometimes like we go on, I go, oh, maybe I shouldn't wear this shirt. And I tell my wife we're going to like to a function or something. I go, it kind of draws a little bit of weird of attention. Like the word alpha for somebody who's not
the beta isn't gonna get mad.
Gonna come up and try to fucking have me prove it or something. Like
on the real
like,
alpha.
Take that shirt, dude. It goes against
like,
all
it's just
betas.
a shirt, man. It's actually a brand. You know?
That goes against
actually got it.
nature to even come up to
you. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I don't want to deal with that. So I don't necessarily wear it. Sometimes I don't even wear it to the gym. Like it's kind of like a gym shirt. And so, but it's weird because everybody I've ever encountered at the gym who works out, who's like doing heavyweight, big dudes, bigger guys than me, I've always been super cool.
Yeah,
super kind to me. Yeah. And I still feel like I'm the little guy. You know what I mean? I always do. I always think I'm the little guy. And I'm like, it's in my head. I look in the mirror and I go, fuck, I need more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I see you say that on your social media all the time.
Yeah.
Like you're bigger than me, but when you're hanging out with people that are bigger than you.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Like, and then, so like I go to Gold's Gym and I see these big dudes and I know some of them are like roided out to the max and I get jealous and I go, fuck, I want to get on something. I want to get on something. Because I work out this damn hard. I could break that plateau with a little, I could be 20 again, and, but at the same time, I'm like, well, I don't want my junk to get small and I want to, and I don't want to have to rely on it. Cause once you get on that stuff, like if you are, perpetually using it or, for a long time, you're going to end up, dependent on it. You can't get off of it. Yeah. And if you do, you have to
gains.
Yeah. That too. No, but I mean like physiologically, like you're taking testosterone and if you don't need it, then your body will stop making it. Well, because you're juicing. Yeah. And then you want to stop. What if the world goes to shit and you can't get it anymore? You know what I mean? Yeah. Now you're just like
fiending.
Crash.
Can't work out anymore.
I'm crashing. I can't fight off like coyotes for food for my family. Whatever. I'm just like saying like, or you lose your insurance and you can't go get it. Or the gym guy at the place, he can't supply you anymore. Then you tank and then estrogen and all that stuff. And then that's it. Like it's game over, man. Like, so I don't want to be relying on that stuff, but there's, like I said, there's guys at these gyms, they're huge. And it's like, I'll look in the mirror and I'm like, maybe the mirror's fucked up. Yeah. These fucking guys are huge. They look bigger. Yeah. And then I see some of them like they'll glance over at me and I go, fuck yeah, what's up, dude? Yeah. Like, what's up, dude? I got some arms. What's up?
Yeah. Coming after you.
Like, yeah. And I get it. Everybody's looking at everybody else's physique in the gym to see like what they can do to why they don't look like that guy or why they think they look better. Because there's people that are kind of assholes too. And they do exist. And they'll say like, well, that guy's not doing enough of this or he's not doing enough. Like, and if you could help somebody out in the gym, do it. But for the most part, like I'm going to side with that guy, Joey Swole. I watch his videos. Yeah. Just mind your own business. Yeah. Mind your business. Yeah. Because it's just too much.
I'm like, well, sometimes I can't, resist looking at some of these girls, what they're wearing. But I told Steven, I'm checking out these guys too. I'm like, I never thought I'd be checking out guys. I'm like, look at that fucking arm.
Yep.
Jesus.
Oh no, dude. It's like it's a thing, man. Like there's Gold's is pretty bad when it comes to what you're looking at. Yeah. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? You're wearing that in here?
Yeah. And then you're doing this workout like right in front of me.
Like, oh my god! Excuse me, is it?
I need to get another, go to another machine.
Like, bro, like this is free.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I was like, why was I in the bars in my 20s? I should have been here at the gym.
Yeah, like exactly. And it's you want to say like, oh, well, that's perverted mentality, but the reality is I'm not the one going in fucking booty shorts up my ass. I'm not the one doing that. You're the fucking one doing that, you fucking perv.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck. I'm going to the gym to work out. Like, dude, right? Like, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You know? Next thing you know, the fucking camera goes up. Yeah. And it's like, so I get it. I get it. And men are visual creatures. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was going to ask you, I always see you like talking to people at the gym and stuff. So, how do you get so friendly with all these people, and like, how do you make these connections, or how does someone do that? Like, they want to connect with people, because most people don't talk to each other because they're working out and just doing their damn thing, you know, but I always see you like chit chatting with people, not chit chatting, but you know, like you'll do your little Instagram videos with them.
Oh yeah.
Bullshit with them or whatever.
Fuck, I don't know.
It's just your personality, just outgoing.
I think it's just the personality. Yeah. I like the process, and I see people that are, a lot of them could be doing the same thing as me at the time. So a lot of these people that I do, you know, that you see in my videos and stuff, like, they've become like friends to a degree. You know, I ain't gonna lie, like I like most of them.
Mm-hmm.
There might be one that I don't know. I'm just saying.
I don't really see that much in my gym. That's why I'm like, you know, it's 24-hour fitness, maybe because it's a bigger gym. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, bigger gyms. But, you know, once you start seeing like the same people over and over and over again, eventually, like, there's a fist bump that happens, or, hey, could you spot me? And then that's the connection. And then some people let it go at that. Yeah, some people let it go at that, and it's just like, fuck you, whatever. Like, thanks a lot, dude. All right, boom. Because that's happened. And there's still people at my local gym that I go to here that, like, I've never really had a conversation with them.
Yeah.
And I see them all the time, and they've talked to me, well, like a quick, oh, what's up, man? You know, 30-second convo, and that's it. And I haven't talked to them since. And it's been, oh, hey, what's up, dude? Fist bump, that's about it. Other people, they just gravitate to me, or I to them. There's a few people that, like, I really, really like. I think they're good people, and they're at that gym, and they have the same, you know, goals. And that's the thing, is that it's the same thing. We're all there to do one thing, you know, and be in shape. We were all in there to be in shape. And then, but for the most part, it's been like just repetition, seeing the same people over and over and over. And it's eventually,
and I'll see like some of the bigger ones, like the big dudes, like they'll always be like, or even the girls with the big, like a really fit girl, they'll be the ones that talking to each other the most. And like, they must have seen each other in here for like 5 years because they're so swole or something, you know, like, and they know each other, and they're both like, you know, you got the people that just the casual people that come in there, the people that are kind of overweight. But those ones, they know, like, okay, this person's kind of like me. So they'll be talking or even doing workouts together.
Yeah. Well, here's another thing too. Like, it's also like when you just connect, like with people, like I said, like, that's true. That's a true statement. Because there are people who are just literally like see each other all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And when you go to a place to work out, eventually, if you're going there every day, you're going to get results. Doesn't matter what you like. So the new guy who shows up and he's just starting his journey to get wherever the journey ends, because it never ends. It never ends at all. You just keep going. And eventually that same person can make the same connections. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not far-fetched. I mean, you're literally, you find the same guy, you look the same guy, and he's like kind of like where you're at physically, and you're like, getting it, bro? And they're like, yeah, you know, and you're across the way, and next thing you know, you're fist bumping, and IGs are exchanged, and next thing you know, you're fucking working out with that dude. You know what I'm saying? Man, you got to be careful, because sometimes not everybody is like, not everybody. Yeah, there are some weird dudes.
Yeah, definitely. There's some weird people
who want to make friends with you. And you're like, no.
Yeah. Then they're like, can we hang out all the time 24/7? Like, I'm hanging out with my wife today. Ditch her. We're hanging out. I'm like, no, we're not. We'll see you at the gym.
No, dude, like just in the gym, bro. Yeah. I haven't really experienced that too much. Well, there's my friend who comes in with me. He actually would see me posting. So you came in. So like we exchanged. We became IG dudes because of our mutual friend who passed away, right?
Yep, June of last year.
Yeah. R.I.P. Right? Yep. And that guy was like, so he started following me. I can't remember when, but it was a while back. And he was like, he kind of started watching my stories because I stopped putting political junk on my personal page, and I was like, it's all gonna be workout shit. If you don't like it, just fucking get off of my page. Yeah. I don't care. It's all gonna be me logging my progress, right?
Yeah.
So one day, all of a sudden, I got a follow from him, and he's like, every single day, it was, holy shit.
That's what he said.
Fucking lifting that, bro. Like, yeah.
He said holy shit all the time. Man.
Yeah, holy shit. Like all the time. Like I can go through my DMs, they're still in there, I believe. And he'd be like he was like my fucking number one fan, it felt like, dude. And I was like, yeah, dude. And he's like, how do you do this? How do you get rid of this? How do you get rid of fat? How do you do this? What's my diet? Like, oh, I'm going to do this marathon. But, like it's a lot of the same things that you're going through, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's always about fat loss. And I remember the first time I ever met him back in like 10 or something like that. I was like, bro, like, because he was going through when he was with his wife at the time, and he was doing a diet, and she was making him food to take to work. And I remember it was a struggle. So diet has always been a struggle for many people, young and old. And, that back then we were like in our 30s or late 20s at the time. Yeah. And still diet. Diet, and you can lose a lot of weight by, running that diet. But yeah, that cheerleading I got was always very cool. So, you make these connections with people who have the same ideas as you. You're not going to go wrong. I mean, I've like literally in my stories, I got people. So I have another friend of mine. He actually, I don't even know how much of a friend he is. He just kicked me off his Instagram. I'm off his Instagram. Things got a little weird, and I was like, whatever, dude. And he even said one time, he even DM'd me. He goes, oh, I didn't know that people still actually gave a shit about all your workout shit. And I was like, really? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Yep. In my fucking stories, it's only workout dudes that fucking look at my shit. Yeah. Like, I got like 2 or 3 people from the old followers. Yep. It's all workout guys. Like, they're like, oh, dude, like, that's legit. Like, oh, you lifted, 300 pounds. Wow. And I don't even know why I went on this tangent, but I think it's just the whole life change. You change your perspective. Yeah. Like right now, like my wife, I'm totally brainwashing her into doing it. Like she's sore today and yesterday from doing a leg workout that I put her on. And later today, she's going on a leg workout again.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you that too. Like, did she always go to the gym with you, or how does one person, the viewers out there, get their wives to get into the same thing that they are? Because Steven's fiance works out here and there too, but how did just the general Matt and the regular guy that likes working out get to wife? How do you get?
Well, I'm never home. Huh? So she's like, well, I guess I got to spend time with you at some point, right? Yeah. So she started going with me.
It's like, you want to hang out? I'll be at the gym.
Yeah. So that's a whole different story in itself. Yeah. That's like, she has like a health thing going on. So she decided that it would be beneficial that she would start going. Yeah. But and it was almost one of those, well, I told you so kind of thing to some degree, but with love, not like not stabbing, at her, like, I fucking told you so, stupid. Nah, you know what I mean? Like it was like, well, this will definitely help you. in your endeavors. It will change you. Not only will it help you in the health wise, it'll change your physique, the way you feel, your mental, status, because like I said, this last year, a little bit rough. So we got hit with an illness. We'll just say that. And so, so moving on into the fitness thing, like diet, again, she started eating differently. And I said, well, if you're going to eat differently, I think you need to like actually, lift some weights. It'll change you. Like, she's like, well, yeah, like cardio. And I go, you don't need cardio. You're like 115 pounds. You don't need cardio at all. You do cardio maybe once or twice a week, just for what it is. Cardio, your heart, but you don't need to lose weight. You need to gain weight. So I try to feed her as much as possible. You've seen her in my post. She's a very slender lady. Yeah. So we're trying to build muscle. We're trying to feed her. And she wasn't going to go with me at all. Like, she hates the gym, honestly. Like, I'll tell you straight out, she fucking hates the gym, dude. She'd rather do like a hike. Like, you know what I mean? She likes functional shit. Back in the day, we did we used to do rock climbing, and we had a membership at Hangar 18. She loved it. So if you can con your wife to go rock climbing, or your girlfriend to go rock climbing, that is amazing. That's an amazing workout. I was doing it for a while. My abs were lit up all the time. I was still drinking at the time. So, drinking has always been a forefront of my life from young to just 2020. So I can say, from 2020 to now, I've been sober. So, I don't know if it's a good thing, but I'll just say, fuck it. Bravo to me.
Congrats.
I didn't think I had a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't think I had a problem.
Yeah. I drank from 15 to the late 30s too.
Yeah. Well, I think the problem was the belly fat. That was my problem. I was like, fuck, dude, like, I'm getting chubby. I'm fucking 40. My daughter's a teen, How gross is that to have your dad all fucking bald and fucking, like most of her, you know what I mean? Like, most of her friends' parents are older, or if they're close to my age, they look older because they're overweight, and,
that's a good example to her as well,
yeah, exactly. And I've taken her a couple of times, my daughter, and, and I'm so happy that my wife is going with me, honestly. Like, it's way better to actually be able to share that, because there's been times already where she's like straight up like told me, I feel like I needed to go to the gym. She'll be at work and she'll be like, I felt like I needed to like go to the gym and like get a good workout. And she's like, I actually wanted to get called out of work. She's a nurse, by the way, that I wanted to get called out of work so I can go to the gym. And I was like, fuck yeah. Fucking brainwashed you.
Yeah, sometimes when you're stressed out, the gym helps. I'll be stressed and like anxiety. I'm like, I go to the gym. I'm like, that just, it's gone now. What the hell happened?
Yeah, you're just kicking back.
Yeah,
like, so a lot of times I feel like I'm what's the word here? Like, I'm having a me day, like a spa day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, every time I go. So afterwards I'll go to the sauna and I'll fucking chill out in the sauna and steam up, go get the massage chair. Cause some of these gyms have those. So, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm the VIP, after a workout. And then I come home and I'm like, oh shit, I got responsibilities.
Damn it.
So
does anything annoy you?
I'll
go ahead, Steven.
I was gonna say, how crazy are you into your diet? You like track calories, or do you kind of just portion eyeball it?
Ooh, so I'm all over the place, man. I'm all over the place with it. So I'll go through like a stage where I'm watching what I eat, like meticulously, like, okay, like I'm only going to do straight protein. Because my girls, they'll bring in junk food in this house. It's like, it's like a thing. Like, oh, I want junk food. I want snacks with my I want to watch my show with my snacks. So they'll do all that, right? But I'm like, man, I can't fucking eat that. Like, so a lot of times I go without, you know. So I'm almost, it's almost like cycling all the time. Like I'll cycle through, or I'll have like a month or 2 months of just like completely ruining my diet. I'll eat a lot of high protein foods, but then I'll go in, I'll get like a bakery thing, like like some kind of a sweet bakery type thing, but I won't eat it in like one shot. I'll eat like a bite one day, and then the next day I'll just for taste. Like I want, because I know once you start eating that sugar, you want more. You ever notice that?
I know that.
You ever notice that? Like you're like, fuck,
I definitely noticed that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. You get that sweet tooth. And then later in the day, you get that sweet tooth again. You're like, fuck, because you started your cycle of like the, whatever your, what's the word here I'm looking for? Yeah, your sucrose, all that stuff. It starts to light up again, and you start craving it. So there's a word for it, but
I just called it addiction.
Yeah. Yeah, addiction. There you go.
They say it's like more addicted than crack, which I believe.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Like, yeah. And it's weird since I stopped drinking, I started trying to eat a little healthier, and, over the last few years, I noticed that if I do get a sweet tooth, it's so random. Like I could get up like in the morning and like eat like a chocolate cake or something. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And
I'm like, why the fuck do I want that? It's weird. Like I never experienced that, but that's because I'll be on like some crazy strict diet, like where it's just straight chicken or straight. And my wife, she gets bothered by it sometimes. She's like, dude, like, I'm not to fucking feed this guy. You really want that again?
Yeah.
I'm like, yep.
It's so hard to eat just
chicken and rice.
Yep.
Yeah. Or whatever it is, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I definitely done the calorie thing. So I used to run Apple Watch all the time.
Yeah.
A smartwatch. And I never used it for my workouts. So one day I clicked on it and I was like, all right, it's basic weight training for whatever. Clicked on it. And then it'll do the calorie count thing, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed that my weight training was burning about like 700 calories in a sesh. So I was like, wow, now I'm going to go home and eat. That smoothie that I'm about to buy is 600 calories. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see the,
like, do I want to ruin all the progress I just had in the gym?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So you start seeing the numbers and you're like, okay, fuck. If I'm trying to get a six pack, this isn't going to happen this way.
Yeah, no.
So
math on it.
Skip the smoothie, go home and actually eat high protein food, make the calories count. The other day, I think I posted on my story. I was like, it was the middle of the night. I was working and there's a vending aisle in one of our terminals. And I was like, hey, I think I'm going to get a Snickers bar because I was feeling like kind of low. And I was like, I picked it up, 250 calories, dude.
Yep.
And I was like, do I want to eat those 250 calories on this, or do I want to eat it on something else?
Yes.
Like a drink and something like, like I mapped it out. Like it was like budgeting like $1. Like,
yeah.
Like a little kid. Do I want to get 5 for 25 cents? Or do I want to just get one for 50 cents?
Yeah.
Or some shit like that,
Yeah.
And I was sitting there mathing and I was like, I better not get that because that's 250 calories. And then I'm going to have to burn it off. And then it's like, okay, let me get this instead because I need something to like, eat, like I need something. So I don't remember what I replaced it with. I think a drink or something. And then I just fucking went starving for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So I think I ate actual food, but yeah, the Snickers bar, 250 calories for a regular size Snickers bar. I was like, I can't do it. So then you go into the gym and so I noticed that now I'm using a different smartwatch, same thing, same idea, track your calories when you're working out. So that one now I'm up at like anywhere between 900 to 1400 calories burning when I hit the gym. So, and
it's a crazy session.
yeah,
Really
it's
good.
a long time. And it's like 2 hours, man. It sucks. It sucks. But I love it, dude.
I went on a big hike yesterday and like it was like 4,600 calories burned. And then I ate a big meal. So it was last time I was like, I'm looking at the clock, 6:00 last night I ate. And I haven't ate since. So it's almost 18 hours since. So I was like, man, I went like, even though I burnt all the calories, I ate a bunch of calories after Outback Steakhouse.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm like, I can't eat for like, I'm going to just fast as long as I can, but now I'm getting kind of hungry. I'm going to have to eat something.
Yeah. So fasting is an interesting concept. I don't know. How do you guys feel about fasting?
I'll do it here and there, but I try to just do balanced diet mostly. And if I do, but if I here and there, if I eat too much one day, I'm like, okay, let me just try to average it out. I went over 1,000 calories, 2,000 calories extra. Let me try to average out by fasting a little bit for the next day. But I don't like being too hungry, then I'll want to splurge.
Then you want to splurge, yeah. What about you, Steven? Yeah. What do you think of that fasting
I was
business?
actually doing it for a while, but once I kind of started, like, I realized my calories were pretty damn low. And I'm like, I don't know if I could eat enough calories. Like, I'm sure I could just have bigger meals, but I kind of stopped it. And now I just kind of eat throughout the whole day. Like, I'll have, my eggs in the morning, usually some like ground turkey or something for lunch. And then usually for dinner, it's chicken.
Yeah. It sounds like you're already on a high protein diet already.
Yeah. I'm getting about 200 grams and I'm about 175 right now.
Okay. And what's your, how tall are you?
About 6 foot.
6 feet? Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay. And you're 170 pounds?
Yeah. About 175.
175.
So I'm more on the skinny side. So my goal right now is to pack on more muscle. So I'm trying to get into this gaining phase. So I'm trying to find this like sweet spot because I felt like I was like at a area where I was just kind of maintaining. I'm like, all right, well, this is good because as long as I'm getting stronger with my lifts, like I should be packing on muscle. But then I started losing weight again. So I keep upping the calories slowly, and I'm trying to get into like a maintenance or like a slight gaining phase.
So yeah, that's difficult. That's when you feel like you're being stagnant in your gains. Your food intake, like I said, it's really important. So you do need some amount of carbs in there. I wouldn't say completely rule them out. That way your energy level is high enough. So you just need to pick the right carbs. If you're going to do natural carbs, I mean, I always say stay away from the bread, but like rice. So if you like I said, I don't know the workout, the kettlebell workouts, if that's what you're strictly on, but if you're trying to pack on more muscle, I don't think that the kettlebell workouts will be, completely, I think that would be an addition to your weight training is what I'm trying to get at. So
yeah.
I don't say rule those out at all because I think kettlebell workouts are actually really cool. There's a guy I used to follow. He was called, I can't find his account anymore. It was like the Russian Viking or something like that. This guy was like 40 something years old. This guy was jacked, and he was a cop, I think, somewhere. I don't know where we're at out here in the States. He's not actually like Russian. He was like American, but I think he was like, had Russian, whatever. That's what he called himself, Russian Viking, and the guy was fucking jacked, amazing, like ripped. And he would do the kettlebell workouts. And I was like looking at it, I was like, man, I feel like I couldn't even do those because he was doing like these crazy like swings and, and he looked great. But I think that was also in addition to a lot of the weight training he did. And he did like 5-mile runs a day. It was like nuts. I was like, damn. And then I unfollowed him and I was like, I'm jealous. I said, fuck you. Click, unfollow. Now I want to find him again. And I want to watch his content again because now I'm curious. Like, and I went looking for it. I couldn't find him. Yeah.
Maybe he changed his name or something.
Yeah, like fucking more jacked than you.
Yeah, Steven's much more dialed in on his diet than I am because he tracks everything and like I don't track all the time really.
tracking your diet is hard. And
yeah, it is hard.
I mean, I got a guy over here that you've seen him in my stories. He's an older guy. He's a little older than me. And fucking guy is amazingly jacked. And he eats the same food every single day. Like, no joke. He tells me, he goes, "Oh, I eat 18 ounces of chicken a day." And I go, "Are you fucking kidding me? That's a lot." And then he goes, "Yeah, I eat 3 chickens a week." I go, "What the fuck? No wonder why you look like." He's got like rippling abs, like, and they're thick because he actually works out the abs with actual weight training the abs. Okay. So not only is he has a low body fat percentage, it's also he's leaned out, like he's literally leaned out, like and has that muscle on there. So you can do abs all day long, and you can do weight training for your abs and have beautiful abs under your fat.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I said diet though. That guy's like, he literally says, I even posted one time on his Instagram, like him weighing out meat on a scale. I was like, fuck, drug pusher over here. And he's throwing chicken on a scale. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, dude. So it's doable when you track, but I mean, if you don't have the tenacity to do it or the will, like to track it like that, like it's not for everybody either. And I don't do it. I don't do it
here and there, but not always.
But hey, if Steven over here fucking is counting it up and telling it and it's working, then keep doing it, because whatever works for you. Yeah. And that's really kind of how it counts. The way I think I live is, will I be able to sustain this kind of a lifestyle?
Yes.
Outside. Yeah. Like if I'm like transplanted somewhere else, you know what I mean? Like right now I live in a routine, right? So every day, every week, whatever, it's a routine. But if I were to remove myself from the routine, will I still be able to create a new routine that's going to be the same, that's going to keep me the way I want to be, with the right amount of muscle and all that stuff like that. Like I'm proud of where I'm at right now. We're always looking to go better, harder, faster.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Trying to get better. So always.
Yeah.
Human nature to grow. That growth.
So that's even like you were saying earlier, it was like, I seen some of your pictures and your videos. I'm like, oh, he's pretty lean. But like you said, like, oh, I have this little small amount like that I could lose to be like super shredded.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're just like nitpicking over this small little, where most people are like, I would diet to look like you, but
Exactly. I got that same friend of mine. He was telling me the same shit. Like, he's like, man, like, he's like, you're too hard on yourself. You look fucking great. And I go, yeah, but my calves aren't. He's like, nah, dude. Like, you're fucking, like everybody's calves are fucked, right? And I was like, yeah, but Aaron, like my calves, He's like, no, dude. Like, he's like, you look great. Like, so I'm gonna blow my own whistle on this one, my own horn on this one. I'm gonna give you guys a story here. So was it last year? I think it was last year. I had to buy a new car. So I got into a car accident. I'm leaving my work, and just so happens that a big rig pulls out of a driveway and like basically takes out my car while I'm in it. So hits my car, boom, pushes it to the side, ruins the whole side. There's glass everywhere on my side window. And I'm like, damn, this sucks. Obviously I'm not hurt. Everything's cool. I get out, I have to call highway patrol is the one who responds to the accident, because we got to do a report. It's a big rig. So they got to it's literally in front of their terminal. They come out and they're like, oh shit, like this, it happened right in front of their safety department manager. So he comes out and he's like, fuck, this is crazy. So I get out, highway patrol shows up, they start doing their report, and I tell the guy, I go, hey man, like I'm wearing a sweater at the time. I'm like, I had a little bit of blood. I guess one of the shards of glass hit my arm. So there was like a little spot. And I was like, oh fuck, like, okay, whatever. I guess that's it. So I put my sweater on because it's kind of cold. This is like 4:30 in the morning. And they show up, and it's kind of dark. And they're doing the whole report. They're getting questions, and they're doing their discovery to see what's going on. So then after everything's said and done, I go, okay, they're going to move the big rig. They're asking me questions. And I go, hey man, like, can you check to see on my neck, if I have like anything on my neck, like any like blood or anything. They go, yeah. I go, hold on, let me just take my sweater off. And I just so happened to be wearing like this blue shirt that's kind of form fitting. And I took it off, and both of them were like, well, fuck, dude, you're in fucking great shape, bro. And I just took my sweater off. I go, what? And he goes, yeah, you're fucking, he's like, yeah, dude, you're fine. But bro, like, you're fucking jacked, dude.
It's like, you're not cut, but you're cut.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, I was so proud. I went home and I was like, guess what these highway patrol officers said? And I was like, what? And I was like, they full on like complimented me for like going to the gym. Like I was like ripped up, and I was like, thanks guys. And I was all proud. I was like, thanks guys. And they go, you guys think I'm like ripped up or what? And they're like, yeah, dude. Like, I go, fuck, dude. Like you go to the gym, huh? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, dude. Like you got the fucking the V-line thing going on your back, like you know, and your fucking shoulders are all popped up. And I go, yeah, that's a new thing, I guess. I don't know. I was fucking doing a lot of chicken shit, chicken wings in the gym. So so that's where that came from too. Is like you want to change your look, a lot of push-ups and a lot of shoulders.
Yeah, because I was like trying to get skinny and lose my thing, but I was telling some girl, I was like, my next thing is to try to build my chest, because I always had like a weak kind of chest, like looks like a little bitch chest.
Looks like a little bitch chest. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man. And I don't care what anybody says. It like no fucking little kid beta, fucking commie fucking kids tell you about your muscles and shit like that. Like people respond to you differently when you have a broad chest and a broad shoulders. It just is. It just doesn't, like I can go into a room and I can see who's who just by like being on this earth for 43 years as well, and then seeing what's going on in the world, and then seeing like the dedication that people put into themselves, and you see it and you're like, okay, that fucker has got green hair. Okay. It's a twig. This one right here, this person is fucking overweight, hates themselves. It doesn't necessarily mean they hate themselves, but but when they talk to you, they talk to you in a different way where you're just like, where did that come from? Like, why are you treating me that way? Like I've been called sir more often than
interesting.
Like, yes, sir. No
I'm
problem,
not trying to make this guy mad. I mean,
yeah, exactly. And I'm like, no, dude, because I don't perpetually walk around with a smile on my face all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I do walk around like a normal male, where I'm like, I'm aware of my surroundings, and like I'm not constantly like, hey, I'm Dom. What's up, man? I'm Dominic. hey, yeah, fun. I do. I've had like homeless guys walk up to me and they're like, oh fuck, never mind. And it's like, where'd that come from, dude? Like, I might have given you $1, but most likely not. But you know what I'm saying? Just like it changes the way you're perceived. So, but then if you go into like a place like Gold's or like the gym right here, like everyone's kind of looking the same, so to speak. Like there's a bar there, but you have to also remember. So I always tell this to everybody. You have to remember that place is where everybody goes to do that. And that's a small percentage of the population. Yeah. So when you leave that place, if you notice, like if you go to work and stuff, you notice like, well, maybe not in your case because you do construction. So you might have some pretty big dudes that work there with you. But for the most part, like there's beer guts, there's fuck it, I don't give a shit. Yeah, fuck it, I don't give a shit. I'm going to go throw back beers after work. Stuff like that, but just in general, like
that are fat, like they're
exactly.
supposed to be health professionals.
Yeah,
they're out of shape.
And they're out of shape. Yeah, and that's another thing is like they don't have time and they can't make the time for it. Some of them, and I always say at least like get yourself like 30 minutes. But nobody wants to get into their gym clothes to do a 20-minute workout. You know what I mean? Like it's 20 minutes for them to find the damn shit out of their laundry basket, put it on, and then do the 20 minutes to make a sweat, then another 20 minutes to take the shower. So, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's a whole hour, right?
Yeah.
I get it. But an hour out of 24?
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man.
All the benefits too, worth it.
I don't know. It's hard to, like I said, I've been doing it for what works for me doesn't necessarily work for everybody else, but I've been doing it for like 3 years and I feel fucking great. Sometimes I said sometimes because for the most part, I'm just sore as fuck every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
No,
right
too.
now, I'm just
I had
sore
days
as
where
fuck.
my whole body's sore from like 3 days of just continuous beating my body up.
Yep.
But like you're saying, like I
So
feel
right
like diet is huge. Like that made me like I feel so much better than I used to with the diet alone. But so you don't have time to work out, try to at least do your diet. You know, like that will make you feel better.
Yeah.
Working out also makes you feel good, especially when you start seeing results and seeing your body look better. You're like, okay, now I'm more confident. I'm walking my head up more. I can look people in the eye when I talk to them. And I'll be like, I'm a piece of shit. Look at me.
Yeah.
No, I'm good now. You know, like, so.
Dude, I would never take my shirt off, man.
Yeah.
I didn't even like taking it off at the beach, man.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
I'm just going to swim my shirt on.
Yeah.
There's people.
Now, every chance I get, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'll take my shirt off. Like literally, I'm gonna say this because no one's home right now. They all went off to go do Starbucks or whatever. Yeah. And like when it's just me at home and my wife, like any chance I get, I'm taking my clothes off. I'm walking around my house. Like I go in my underwear. I'm like, is it a Calvin Klein model yet? Almost, you know, like almost like. You know, and I'm wearing like some Target brand or whatever, Hanes or whatever. I go, look, do I look like I could be a supermodel? What's up? You know, and I'm just fucking around. But at the same time, like any chance I get, I'm like trying to strut it around, like, because I'm proud of it. But it's, you know, it's not the best. I'm going to say that right now. You know, I still have a lot of work to do. I've only been doing this for 3 years. There's guys who've been doing this for 10 to 15, and I'm trying to compare myself to them.
Yeah.
You know, there's no comparison. Yeah. So for you guys, if you are thinking that you guys are new at this, you're definitely not new, but you have to also recognize that there's guys that have been doing this for years. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like they always say, it's not overnight. The progress is not overnight. So I'm always going to say, keep going, keep going, keep going. And you're going to like where you're at in another year. Yep. If you don't like what you're at now, you're going to like it in a year if you keep going.
Yeah.
There's no if, ands, or buts. You're going to eventually you're going to see it, and you're going to see a video or a picture of yourself, and you're like, holy shit, that's me.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. And you're going to be surprised. Yep. Always. I'm not the only one who's gone through it. Like, there's little things that everybody goes through that's like the same shit. Like, there's this kid over here. I work out with him every now and then, and he's tall. And one day we're talking about arms, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, you're strong as fuck. Your arms are huge." And he's like, "I don't think so." And he goes, "Every time I look down and I look at my bicep, I'm going to show you." He goes, "It folds out, so it looks small." And I go, "Dude, that's exactly how I think when I look down at my bicep. It doesn't look big at all." But then
I think
you see me in a video, and you see me, you know, flexing up or something, and wow, that looks good. But not when I look down, you know. Yeah, it's like a body dysmorphia type of thing. So everybody has it a little bit. Yep. So I just keep saying, keep pushing it, keep doing it, don't fucking stop, because if you're trying to build muscle, work out 2 times as hard that you did last time, and you'll.
Yeah. Plus, building muscle is one of those things that just takes time. Like, I feel like you could lose the weight relatively quickly compared with if you're trying to add muscle. Like, adding muscle might take you years, where you can lose the weight in, 3 months or 6 months or something.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, I think to where I want to be is more like a 3 to 5 year range, like of being consistent for that amount of time to pack on the muscle that I want. Like, it's probably going to take some time to get there, and I'm fine with that. Like, I'm trying to make this a lifestyle thing and make it stick it out for the long haul.
If you're working with injuries and things like that, I mean, I don't say take it slow, like every workout. Like, you do need to push yourself, even with your injuries. Don't re-injure yourself with a new injury, but you know what I'm saying?
I'd be pissed off if I couldn't work out.
Yeah, exactly. So the stuff that you can do, do it twice as hard as you can. I always kind of get irritated sometimes when I see like I know, like I know it's not easy for everybody to have that same mindset where it's like the grind where you're like fucking like let's fucking lift the weights and fucking, 'cause that's like that testosterone like fucking manly. But like there's a girl who we were just working out with. I just featured her in one of my stories, and she's doing her oh my god, she's doing a chest workout, incline bench press, and she's fucking cranking them, dude, just cranking them, bam, bam, and she's right there, dude, like fucking with the boys and working out. I'll look over and I'll see her sometimes, and you could hear her going, oh fuck, and just cussing and fucking grinding, so it's not just something that men can do, it's something that women can do. There's really no excuse to, oh well, I don't want to be like that because that's kind of gross. That's like what dudes do because they're all macho and shit. Like, no, there's women that are they're working out hard and they're fucking grinding. I love to see those
women doing that shit too.
Yeah, you see them all over social media, and you'll see them at the gym too, and they're fucking grinding. And then other women are looking over like, shit, she looks great, or or oh, her whatever, her ass or whatever, her arms or her back or whatever looks great, and this and that. They wonder why. It's like, well, this is why. So when I work out with my wife, I push her. I said, no. You want results? Like, don't come in here and just waste your time. Like, it's great that you're in here, but like, you're with me. So it's next level for you. Yeah. Like, nice. You know what I mean? Like,
that's awesome.
You prove me. You gotta wear the honor or whatever. You gotta live up to the honor of my name, damn it.
You're my wife. You don't embarrass me while we're in here.
Exactly. Don't embarrass me. You will fucking do what I tell you. Do it. Do the damn squat.
And I was telling Steven, like, I would rather hang out with people. I don't want to hang out with people that are like, oh man, you're great. Look how awesome you are and how good. And I want to hang out with people that be like, you're not doing good enough. Like, you need to go harder. Like,
go harder. Yeah. And there's a little bit of like, a little bit of refrain that they got to put on that sometimes, because sometimes fools will be like, hey, well, you're fucking small. And you're like, what, bitch? Like, what? What are you talking about? Like,
you want to like right now?
Exactly. I've had friends like tell me shit like that. Like, dude, you're fucking small, bro. You're a bitch. And I'm like, what? Well, fuck you. They're like, well, it's because you're not lifting. You just fucking put more weight on there. Like full on, like fucking my head. And I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's go. And then I go even harder because then my ego kicks in, and I go, I just got played. Like I know what's going on.
Girl, thank you for that.
yeah, exactly. Like it just makes the workout way, way better. And yes, I will be fucked for like 3 days, and like where my shoulder can't go into my pocket. I can't put my hand in my pocket. Put my phone in there because my shoulder won't pull back, and stuff like that. But I mean, fuck, the results are there, like.
Have you seen that guy Sam Solik?
Yeah, kid's 21 and he's
a freaking beast.
I've never seen that guy. You guys send me it.
I'll send you a video, but you can tell that guy when he lifts, like he just leaves it all like he's got nothing left.
Well, he's on.
He's got to be, because you said, I think he's 21, but the kid is just huge.
Yeah, I don't know what he's taking exactly. I don't know if I don't follow him like that, so I don't know. But there probably is some growth hormone in there at some point. You know what I mean? Like, and he does a lot of fucking food. Kid's eating a lot. I did watch a video. I think
I've seen a video where the people were, it was like a video of his, and then in the comments they were saying that he's off of the steroids, but that he was on it at some point. But I'm like, I don't know either way, but I'm like, he does look like somebody that's taken him at some point. He's just that big.
He's blown out. You could see it like in his torso.
Yeah.
Where it's like blown out, like, and at that age, man, you don't actually need to do.
Yeah, it's like you're testosterone.
But if you wanted to, I mean, like, I guess, like, if you're going to compete, Arnold did, so. Yeah. But, and even if you're not, like, I've met so many guys that are like my age and above who are on, testosterone, the TRT or whatever.
Yeah, TRT, yeah.
And they fucking love it. They're like, dude, it changed my life. Like, imagine feeling like you're 20 again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's exactly what they're saying. They're like,
Wow.
I feel like I'm 20, like everything, all the way from my sex life to my daily activities, just in general, from work, and then the gym. They're like, yeah, like it's amazing. And I'm like, fuck, I want that. You know what I mean? Like, I
Sounds great.
think about it, I'm like,
doctor.
fuck, like, can I get a prescription? You know, like, so, and there's people who need it, you know, like they actually do need it. And I get it. But then there's just the guys that just, you know, they abuse the shit out of it. So, and it will affect them later. And even the TRT guys too, like they need to be monitored and stuff. And, you know, you have to get your blood work done and make sure you're not, you know, overdoing it. And cause, you know, blood pressure goes up, stuff like that. You know, it's like, it's not without consequence, I guess is what I'm trying to say, some of this stuff. So, but for the most part, everybody that I've ever talked to, they're saying like, yeah, it's an amazing change, in their headspace, because hormones do a lot for men and women. I know it firsthand, in other ways. And, it's a totally different story. I'll talk about it on my podcast. So but yeah, it's like, it will change. But obviously, if you look at what's going on right now in the world with like all the transgender, all that stuff that's going around with, you know, hormone therapy for that, it changes the way your mentality is. You could like, for men, it could depress you if you're low on testosterone. You know what I'm saying? So why do you take it? Boost it up. You feel great afterwards, right? That shit's responsible for a lot in your brain. Like there's all kinds of things that going on. Low T, high estrogen, moodiness, all of those things, weight gain, blood pressure, all of that stuff comes into play when all those things are out of whack. So now you have this group of people who are trying to switch their genders, which I didn't want to touch on this. I'm just kind of skimming over that, but it changes their mentality. Like if they're illegal in pro sports, there's a reason for it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like there's a reason for it. And now these guys are just willy-nilly just dumping in like testosterone into girls so they can be dudes, but they're not dudes, you know, and vice versa, you know, like
it's crazy.
So,
especially children.
and that's a whole thing in itself. But even as like an adult, like you're gonna switch over you're gonna stop your testosterone buildup and you're gonna try to be a girl and then go to estrogen. Like you're gonna have some mental problems.
Definitely.
Period. Like definitely. Like I can tell you it from firsthand from like stuff I don't want to talk about right here on this pod right now. But like I could tell you from firsthand that like when you start playing with hormones, it can be I think about a woman every month.
Yes.
I'm not trying to downplay that or make it sound like chauvinistic or anything like that, but like there's physiological changes that are happening every month to a woman who has a normal menstrual cycle, and hormones play a big part of that. So it's safe to say that if you're a man and you're starting to take steroids, it's going to change you. It's going to change you a little bit. So definitely. I've heard of these guys taking Tren and they end up with like a police record because it just turns them into fucking animals.
Wow.
You know? So
I feel like I've seen that in the gym too, where just I remember this is when I first started working out, just like these group of guys were working out. And I don't know if the guy wasn't doing something well enough, but the guy was like over the top, like, no. When I say this, you do that. And he was just like, man, I'm like, what the hell? And he looked yoked too. Like, you know, the physique was good, but I felt like his anger was just like, just over the top.
Through the roof. Like he was like way overdoing it.
Yeah, exactly.
The girls just got me a coffee. I like that feeling. Like sometimes I'm hopped up on pre-workout and I feel fucking great and I'm getting this crazy pump and I'm like fucking and I'm with the boys and we're all fucking just like we're lifting weights and we're, you know, let's say, I don't know, do arms or something. And I always feel like fucking just and I got my headphones going and I'm not doing social media. I'm not filming it. I'm just we're just going boom, 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 boom. Pass the bar over. That guy's going like, come on, let's go, motherfucker, let's go. We're yelling at each other and like pretty much like spitting in each other's face, almost like, let's go, bitch. Like that's how it seems. Like it's getting really weird. It's getting turning into some kind of a snuff like situation. So fucking guys throwing the bar back at me, and I'm fucking going. I'm like, fuck yeah, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm like, are we working out? Are we having sex? I don't know yet. Then I throw the fucking bar back at him. He's like, yeah, fuck yeah, bro. You want some of this too, bitch? And then all of a sudden it's like workout's complete. And you're like, fuck, now I'm tired. Like, let's go have some cigarettes.
Just finish and go to bed.
Let's go have a cigarette and go to bed. Yeah. But yeah, like, and I love that fucking feeling where you're just fucking going at it and just fucking pull, pull, pull. And I mean, we can go on for hours on the love of this shit, but like I said, like, don't quit.
Yes.
Always two things: repetition and showing up and repeating the same thing. And anybody who's new at lifting and anybody who's listening to this, I will always preach the basics. So if you don't think you can go to the gym because you can't pay for it, or there's too many people there that are going to judge you, you can believe that all you want. Do your push-ups, find a bar to do a pull-up on, do those. If you can't do push-ups, have someone help you. If you can do a push-up, do it. If you can't, do them with your knees on the ground. So start with the basics. Get proficient at your push-ups, your pull-ups, your dips, and sit-ups. Start with those, and you will change yourself. Literally. Like if you start doing push-ups every day, you will change yourself. And once those become way too easy, have somebody put a book on your back and do push-ups. It will change you. Your shoulders will light up, your chest will light up, you will look different, you'll feel different. And it only lasts so long, because then eventually you're going to want more.
Yeah, definitely.
That's where the gym comes in. That's where the gym comes in.
All right. Well, with that, I think we will be going a little over 2 hours, so we'll just...
I know it was a long time, dude. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's great.
You can cut up this episode as much as you like. You want to cut it down for time, go for it.
No, we'll just put it on YouTube, and then also on Spotify and Apple, and then cut up clips for social media.
Cool.
Yeah. But it was great having you on.
Yeah. You got any more questions for me?
Do you have anything, Steven? I think I asked everything. Yeah,
we could probably turn this into a 3-hour podcast, but maybe we'll have you on again. We'll get more into it.
Yeah, we can shorten it up.
We did get pretty deep, but
yeah. If you guys have any actual other questions that you want to hit me up on social media, like if you guys need help with anything, like I've done a couple of things here and there, so I might know something that I might have an answer for you if you guys.
Let me ask you one quick one more before you go. Is there a certain rep range that you like to stay in? Are you like, I know some people like the 4 to 6 rep range. Other people are like, I'm like an 8 to 12.
Good question.
Yeah. Okay.
For you personally, what do you like?
I'm a 10 to like 15. Yeah.
That's what I do.
Okay. 10, like if I'm working,
I feel if I go more than 15, I'm like, that's too easy.
Yeah. So so I do the pyramid. So we'll start low weight, warm up, a couple of sets, really low weight, and then I'll pyramid all the way up. Then I'll try to pyramid all the way down. Then I'll go back up, and then I'll find that's where the work is. After you've done the heavy stuff, that's where the work, I believe, in my opinion, where the work is, where you do working weight, and then that's where you go your 10 to 15 reps. So I don't know, a good example is like for me, let's say I'm doing arms, right? And so let's just say we're doing one particular, we'll just say dumbbells.
Okay.
So I'll start from low weight and go all up as high as I can, and I'll go all the way back down. Then I'll grab like a 30 or 35, and I'll do sets. That'll be my working weight. And it'll just be sets of up to 15 reps, anywhere from 10 to 15. 10 being like, okay, now I'm tired, but I'll do as many of those as I can to get those biceps like lit up. They're already lit up from doing the ranges all the way up, and that's usually about 10. So when I'm doing the pyramid, I'm doing like 10 reps all the way up and then all the way back down. And then when I do the actual working weight, because you're still working, but what I call working weight is like that mid-level weight where you're actually going to be able to lift it without other muscles trying to jump in and drive it. And you're actually going to be able to get, full range of motion and be able to get up to 10 to 15 reps. So, and you actually get the muscle to actually do something rather than hitting it like at the fourth rep and going, oh shit, I can't lift it anymore. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, if you get to that point with your working weight, then you're pretty fucking, you're done. You know what I mean? Like it's time to move on to triceps or something else. So, but yeah, that's kind of like working weight, 10 to 15, depending. Yeah. And if I'm feeling pretty good, it's about there. Yeah. So
nice.
I mean, at some point, if you see me, I may not even be doing that. I may not be sciencing at all or numbering at all. I might just be fucking repping till it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Till I can't do it. Yeah. So that's when the macho stuff comes in. Yeah. I'm like, let's go. And we're doing it till we fucking arms fall apart. So yeah. So hopefully that'll help with you guys if you guys are doing anything. And you guys try different things. At the end of the day, though, like it's your body. Figure it out. You're there. You can experiment. That's why sometimes I've been in the gym or in my garage for fucking like 2 to 3 hours, like picking up, like literally I've done Instagram posts where just a little fragment where I'm doing shoulder work and I have like a 7.5 pound dumbbell and I'm just going up and down, and I'm watching with a tank top and I'm watching what's moving on my shoulder, and I'm looking to see. That's why those mirrors are there anyway. I look like an asshole, like a douche to somebody else who's just starting, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm looking at what I'm doing. I want to see what's moving. That way I can get the most optimal lift out of it, not waste time for that later. So now I've experienced that. Now my next shoulder day, I know exactly where to go. Boom, here it is. That angle, fucking every time. And now I can add weight. 10 pounds, 15 pounds, 20 pounds, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I used to not think that was cool. Like I'd go to the gym, like, the fuck is that guy doing? And like he's looking in the mirror and he's going, and he looks like he's just flexing. He looks like he's just flexing. Well, some guys are just flexing, by the way. So some guys are just being douches. Yeah. There's a kid that was going over here to this gym and he was tall dude. He wasn't necessarily ripped or anything, but he would just flex in the mirror in front of everybody. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy doing? And I was like, hey bro, like poses. Yeah, like full on. And I was like, he's not like, there's nothing special going on with this guy, but okay. Like he's got his poses down, I guess. He'll worry about the actual weightlifting later.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's young, like 19, 20 years old, tall dude. And a lot of the old timers are looking at me and I'm looking over and I'm like, I don't know. He's not my kid.
Yeah.
I didn't bring him.
Yeah.
He just wandered in.
Well, have a good workout at the gym today.
So hopefully I can make it. Yeah. I'll make it. I'm bullshitting. Yeah, I'll be there.
Thanks for coming on, man. It's been nice talking with you.
Yeah. Thanks. I hope I didn't. I hope this is a pretty informative or entertaining. I don't know how entertaining I am, but
you're entertaining. I learned a lot of stuff and a lot of information that I didn't know and a lot of tips and stuff. So I definitely got a lot out of it. And if you're out there, make sure you follow them, Muscleville Inc. on TikTok and Instagram.
Yep, right on. Yeah,
tell them we sent you.
Yeah, tell them.
Health Over Everything podcast sent you. All right, thank you, Dom.
There you go. All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Have a good day.
And I have no idea how to get out of this,
I'll just stop recording here.
Cool.